Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to the Scratticus Academy. We are back with some more Shards of Siberys today. So before we go round and say hello to all of these lovely faces that you can see around the table, I will first of all point your attention towards, first of all, the content warning and also the links coming up in chat now. That includes the Discord. Come and join our very friendly Discord. We also have channels for each and every game where we can chat about it if we have theories or characters or any episodes we may have liked. You can head over there and check it out. If you've missed anything, head over to YouTube. We have all of our games set up in playlists so that they are easy to catch up on, not just this season's, but previous seasons as well. Also, speaking of seasons, the next season is almost upon us. As Scrat, I can almost sense him panicking in the background. But if you want to get into a game, go and drop Scrat a DM on Twitter, and we will get you a game. Otherwise, a huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors who we can do this without in the form of Maychan Press. You will have just seen their Fae Folio if you saw the game before this one, and you can now buy their Dark Matter in hardback, which is basically D&D in space, which everyone needs in their life. Also, there's the Deck of Many Things. They have their magic moving spell cards, and they just, I think it was yesterday, they went over their 1 million on Kickstarter, where they're doing the art books, the moving tarot cards, and all of the wonderful snazzy things that you can find there. They also do Humblewood, which you can actually check out tomorrow, which is one of our viewer games. We also have the wonderful Hero Forge, which you may have seen earlier today. We have a show at 2 p.m. EDT where Scrat and I drink a lot of coffee, and every now and then I'm allowed to let loose to create bizarre minis using their awesome beta, which has all the different colors, textures, and the wings have just been added. Go check them out. Also, there's Dungeon Fog for your map making needs, whether it's for a campaign or a one-shot. They help you form your map and also the notes to go alongside it. Great thing is, if you ever alter anything on the map, it automatically updates in the notes as well. And our newest sponsor, Heartbeat Dice, which is very, very apt for Pride Month, so happy Pride, everyone. They do all Pride dice. They also have a Kickstarter right now for some very, very lovely shiny math rocks. If you want to go and check them out as well, they're doing some wonderful stuff over there, so please go check that out. Right, let's head round and say hello to all of these lovely people here, and I'm going to go in this order. So I'm actually going to start with, hang on, where is it? Where's my Twitch? Sphinx! Hi!
What's going on? Swings for all. I really don't do much. I just lurk in chat.
We love you all the same. The same. I'm just so glad I finally get to play with you.
Me too.
And then we're going to hop around and say, I'm going to mess this up because I always do. Is it Waifu TV?
Waifu TV.
TV. Sorry. Yep. My brain today. Oh, hi.
Hi, I'm Waifu TV. You can usually find me lurking around in the Academy Discord or in chat. You can find me on Twitter at Waifu TV, and I'm excited to be here. This is my first time being on a live D&D stream.
We're so happy to have you. Yeah. So happy to have you. Wonderful. Thank you. Then we're going to hop around and say hello to the lovely Faye. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Thanks for having me here. I'm Faye. You can find me on Twitter at Captain Fake Guy, and I'm here very excited to be playing my character once again of Cinnamon Isle Leaf.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm White Rabbit Pick. That's where you can find me on Twitter. I'm a photographer, and I'm allowed to be released back into the wild in a couple of weeks. So keep an eye on the Patreon because I'll be able to take photos outside again. Also, I'm a DM over on Gilding Light and also Tales from the Grim. Otherwise, I'm going to be quiet and hand over to the very lovely Hans.
Hello, I'm Hans. I'm only here because I'm called Lovely every week. Not really, but it helps, to be frank. I am that vain. I need that. Am I introducing anything? I'm just talking about the game, right? I mean...
About your lovely self in the game.
I'm here. We're going to play some D&D. It's going to be amazing because of all the people involved. So let's look forward to that. I would like to real quick point out, because Sphinx and Kawaifu, is that how you say it? Mm-hmm. Okay. we need to hear about your characters. So Sphinx, why don't you tell us about your character? What's their name? What they look like? This is our preview, our real quick taste.
Kivash is a Kalashtar monk. Dark skin, dreads tied back into a ponytail. He pretty calm guy. Typically dresses in plain clothes.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, and we will see more from Kivash. Kivash or Kivash?
Kivash.
Kivash in just a second. And let's hear about Kawaifu TV's character.
My character is Poetry. She is a tiefling barbarian. She's got sort of almost grayish red skin tone, pure white eyes, no noticeable pupils, very long black hair about down to her waist. She's got, I would say, very antelope-like horns that go straight up and back to an angle. And see, she's a bit tall for a tiefling, sitting about 6.5 feet tall, and she's in what you would probably describe as a very plain, kind of almost like a barmaid outfit. And she's very, very quiet.
Okay. Okay, so real quick, Sphinx, how tall would you say that Kivash is?
Probably about 6'2", give or take.
This would be so good. I think Cinnamon is canonically how tall?
About 4'11".
Okay. And how tall is Ernie?
About 3, 9, 10. So yeah, I'm small.
Thanks for putting it in the US units for us. So yeah, there's going to be a difference here, which is going to be so much fun. I am very much looking forward to that.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that's always one of the fun things. Last time we had a group, 3 out of 4 shorter folks. That was pretty good. Okay. So we pick up exactly where we left off last time, which was Cinnamon and Ernie having been brought back to the cult of Solkatesh headquarters. This is an ancient elven lich who is very upset that she has to walk around so much because it hurts her knees, where she has no cartilage, and just generally being put out by things. She has a cult fortress where we saw like a very Lord of the Rings, like in Mordor style weapon assembly line going on, like people pounding things and armor being hammered out and so forth. And we're kind of like moving away from that. So we just get a real quick pan of the loud, like the coal smell, molten iron, lots of people all running around. Looking after it for just a second, you realize that most of these people are probably undead. They have like eyes that are just dimly burning coals. Their gaze, the way they're walking, everything's very fixed. It's very steady, and it looks mechanical. But when you kind of pan to the left, there's a barracks type area, like a housing. It's quite shabby, and it looks kind of like a warren. There's just like rooms here, rooms there. Everything's very ramshackle, and it's full of people who look either vicious or else they're so concealed and so cloaked you can't tell what they look like. But just everything sharp knives and sharp glances. So you get kind of like walked and woven through there, and not very fast, because you are being guided by a elderly elven undead woman who is probably like conservatively 1,000 years old. So those joints. Also, she has very flat shoes, and that's probably not very supportive at all. So with that, she's just like slowly walking you through until you find a chamber deep within the rock that seems like it's some sort of like sitting or waiting room. It's a lot of stone, a lot of, what's the term I'm looking for? Like very nicely cut and finished stone. It looks very careful. And then also decorated with a lot of like green glowing light and gauzy silks and so forth. So this is like quite a bit more relaxed. There's rugs on the ground, and there's a lot of very old furniture, but it's very nice looking furniture. And everything looks like it's very carefully placed. There's like a big divan, and Solkatesh walks over to it. And instead of like reclining on it, she just walks over and kind of like doesn't breathe, but there is an exhale of air as she just like sits down and just plop.
Is this where you live?
Ernie stood like right next to Cinnamon. Like, not if Cinnamon had a coat, Ernie would be in it. She doesn't know where she is.
So let's real quick describe the characters for the people who haven't seen this yet, because we're about to have a fourth person walk in. So Solkatesh is about splitting the difference between Cinnamon and Ernie. So she's like 4.5 feet tall. She is elven. She has like long pointed ears, very, very ash gray skin. She is a lich. She is undead. She is super ancient. Her hair is like crinkly, curly, black with salt and pepper. And it's very fine at this point. She's wearing a loose-fitting dress that's like black with some very, very fine, like a seed pearl embroidery on it. That's also black, and it's doing a lot of like, I'm thinking like diamond, like embroidery patterns all over it. And she just sits down heavily in this chair. Her face falls. It's already very ashen, but now she's just like letting all of the weight go off. What does Cinnamon look like?
So Cinnamon is a 16-year-old elf rogue. So she's 4'11". She's wearing actually, I think, pretty nice clothing, a green cloak. I believe she is still wearing the glamour weave that she got a while back. So she's wearing glamour weave, tunic, as well as leggings with boots, and a very nice flowing green cloak. She's 4'11". She has brown hair. And to say that she is the epitome of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed would be to put it lightly.
Okay, and let's hear about Ernie. What's Ernie look like? What's Ernie wear?
Okay, so Ernie is probably 4'8", 4'9". She's very, very small. She's got that very round face. Like if it was a perfect circle, that's what it'd be. Think podling. That's probably the best way to look at it. She's got very short, almost pixie cut, sort of a reddish brown hair. Some of it sort of stands on end in some places. These brilliant green eyes. And the thing about her the most is this very long, almost like quilted jacket that sort of... If it was an inch longer, it'd be trailing on the floor behind her. And it's this patchwork of deep blues and deep greens. Also, again, in almost like a diamond-like pattern, as it's like a quilted coat. It's got a very fine sort of lapels to it. This probably looks like the finest thing she owns, because everything else she wears looks old. If anything, the coat is hiding it. She's got this shirt. It's almost like very sort of fluffy, ruffled shirt on, tucked into a fitted pair of trousers quite high up. You're pretty sure the trousers aren't made for halflings. She's pulled them up too high and cut the bottoms off. If you could see beneath these huge boots, which she's definitely stuffed with socks to keep on her feet because they're too big. And she has this huge lute, which looks a little bit too big for her, but it's normally strapped to her back. But right now, she's kind of brandishing it because she doesn't really know where she is. But she would be devastated if this lute broke. So she's trying to be more threatening with it rather than actually hit anyone with it.
So with the three of you sitting in this room, or I guess two of you standing and one of you sitting in this room, having just asked, do you live here? Like, summoned as though their master has just appeared, a lady just kind of like glides on screen. She has very deep, like jewel red skin tones, and you can see very fine scales all along the scalp and down the arms and so forth. Long black hair goes all the way down her back. Very, like almost the same color as her skin, red eyes. So that's kind of unsettling, I would imagine. And as this lady just glides in, she's holding like a small clay tablet and like a sharp stick. But she's just looking at the two of you and she goes, I'm so sorry. The mistress is tired. If you have any questions, just direct them at me. You were asking if she lives here. She is currently in repose here, I think is the term, yes. Which one of you is Cinnamon and which one of you is Ernie?
Oh, hi, I'm Cinnamon. Nice to meet you.
Okay, Cinnamon.
Ernie.
Very good, very good.
What's your name?
My name is on the document that I have to go look at real quick. Okay, it's Arizia.
That's a nice name. So are you like, her PA?
Kind of. It's kind of like that. I'm the executive assistant, really.
Yeah.
It's an executive role.
Yeah.
And she sort of
Is it, what's that like?
sort of looking at Sulkatesh, who's just sat very
And-
still.
Motionless. She has no physical movement whatsoever. She is just sitting on this divan, and that's it. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's great.
So I'm assuming you are also part of the cult?
Yes. Okay. Hi. Yes.
Hi, yes,
And
high
she puts her
five.
hand. She's got the same like purple flaming.
It's like, hey.
Yes. You've high-fived her while she was unaware, and she looks upset about it. Just like the eyes go wide for a second, and you know she has very sharp teeth. And in that moment, she's, okay, so we're gonna get you back out in the field right away. I think that's for the best. We've got a good assignment for you. It's special. You're both very special.
An assignment?
Right. It's an assignment.
Okay.
This is a work opportunity.
So exciting.
Her new hand stamp is what I was going to call it. The new cult symbol with my hand
Cult
stamp.
symbol, flaming purple symbol with the two ravens. Like I imagine like beaks touching two ravens, and then like flaming purple coming off of your hand.
Oh yeah.
Hand stamp.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to put you out in the field again right away. I think that's best. I've got the perfect thing for you. She points at Cinnamon. How are you at singing?
I sing while I'm bathing by myself.
And
So
Ernie,
excellently.
how are you at singing then?
I don't
Sing, but she pulls her lute over and just strums it dramatically.
El Dorado style.
Is that pretty good, huh?
Well, you're both adorable, so I guess we'll just go off of that. That'll be fine. Okay. So let's just don't look directly at Sulkatesh. This is kind of weird. Just turn over this way. Just move with me like 2 steps. And of course, she's just still totally motionless sitting there.
I hate
Look, this is really simple. There's a contest between Sulkatesh and another immortal. You're just going to go and you're going to participate in her place. And then when you're done, just come back.
Is it what, like
Is
a
it a
dance off?
Singing competition?
Why would I ask you if you can sing if it's a dance competition?
Well, you could do both. I've seen people do both. My friend.
If you
back
can do
home-
both, but do the singing one first, because this is a musical competition.
Am I not allowed to play my lute?
That's music, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it would be nice to get some singing. Like when I think of music, I like to hear singing going on. I like some lyrics, but I mean, if you just want to play lute, go ahead.
Ernie, it's gonna be wonderful. You're such a great lute player, and I'm such a great singer. I'm gonna roll a deception check for that.
Oh yes, thank you for
Can I
starting the game
roll
with a
an
cinnamon
insight?
deception
Because
check.
this is how we always do it.
I would love that. Also, I think I should probably roll an insight check.
Well,
No, it's the first time I failed it, and I'm like,
Oh, thank God. We're saved.
Okay. I mean, honestly, luckily, this Lady Arisia does not care that much. She's not paying that much attention in Frank. So it works great. It's the best. So with that, everything's fine.
very
Okay.
quickly looking to see what I have in performance. Okay, all right, great.
So
Hey, cool, cool, cool.
we go there on her behalf. Is there a reason she won't sing?
Still try not to look
okay.
at her.
No. This is a long story. So she looks over at Sulkatesh. She's not moving. And she leans in really close. She's like, okay, so she has this long-standing rivalry with somebody else named Star Seong, and they kind of got back and forth into it. And I don't know exactly what happened, but the bet escalated a lot. And now it's come down to where it's got to be a singing competition.
Is this what dark cults do?
This doesn't make any sense, but I'm really happy about it.
I was
Look,
expecting
the
a
two
lot
of you.
worse joining a cult.
Okay, the two of you look like stuffed animals or something like that. You don't have any reason to be here in a cult, do you? This is
I
perfect
reject-
for you.
I reject the stuffed metaphor, but okay.
Listen, she's in kind of over her head with this. I don't really want to see the boss like lose this competition because who knows what'll happen to me next. So I think we should all just go with this and hope you do a really good job.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Right.
It's you, or else I send a pair of ghouls to just moan and kind of like make faces. So
Oh no.
also, I've already hired you backup, so you're fine.
Backup?
Backup, like other people to participate in this competition.
In case what?
In case you need backup vocals or like a drum or
Oh.
something.
Backup
Oh.
dancers.
I thought
I
he
don't
meant
know.
like backup in case we died.
Well,
No,
that
I'm
could
told it's
still
all covered.
happen.
I've got everything arranged for you. You just got to go there, pick up your accompanists, and then you'll be all set.
Excellent. How do we get there? Oh, I did see her do this really cool thing where she just like threw people across the world. Can we do that?
That's not usually a good thing when she does that.
Why what was happened to our friends then?
Did you see them land?
Not really.
It just slowly shakes her head.
Are they still going?
It's probably fine. Look, the other thing that you have to remember here is if you die, it's not necessarily like that's not a deal breaker. You know what I mean? So let's just do this one really good so we all stay alive.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm all for staying alive. In fact, I know quite a good song about it.
Very proud.
That'll
happy.
be Ernie's one.
All right.
It's very good.
Oh gosh. All right.
Look, I will just talk to one of the henchling is mean. I'll talk to one of the other spellcasters and I'll just get you like a quick portal. You're gonna go, here's the address for the person you're gonna go meet. They handle contracts for stuff like this. They've got your backup all set for you. You're just gonna show up, talk to them, they'll tell you where you're going.
Okay. We can do that.
It sounds great.
So, where's the person who does the portal thing?
Yeah. Let's go find the person who does the portal thing.
Okay.
All right.
Ernie.
So you get shunted around through these warrens quite a bit quicker this time, so you're able to pick up even less of what's going on. And then you get walked down some stairs to a big, I'm imagining a stone well with bubbling, glowing green stuff and some smoke coming out of it. And there is a necromancer there wearing a long robe, and they've got the cowl pushed back. They say, "Okay, where are you going?" And they say, "To Port Verge in the Lazair Principalities." And they're like, "Okay." And then, poof, and the green smoke and all of the steam just comes up, and Arizia says to you, "Okay, jump in."
Huh? Okay.
And she sort of tuck and rolls.
I think Cinnamon, for the first time in her life, is hesitating because this looks a little
Yep.
dodgy. But sees
Smells bad
Ernie
too.
You didn't say that when you joined the cult. That was fine. That was fine.
Didn't have a choice. And so she sees that Ernie goes in and was like, "Okay," and just kind of steps in.
Okay. And with that, you are out of the cult base. We are done with that part of the adventure. We're going to shift over to our guests for a second as we talk about Port Verge. So this is a rollicking, busy port in the Lazair Principalities. Port Verge is one of the biggest of these little island nations that's going on. And so what you have right now is you have a lot of port smells, sea town smell. So there's salt on the air. You can hear gulls in the air. There's a bright sun right in front of you that's beating down on you heavily. But you've also got that nice trade wind. So there's a little bit of a breeze. You can hear the water lapping gently in the distance. You are in a building where outside there was a big elaborate sign with carved wooden letters that read, "Terrific Sal's Adventurers for Hire." And I would like you both to make a history check to see if you know anything about Sal. This is a mini game for today.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right, so a 9 and a 12. Okay, so Sphinx, you know that Sal has found hirees from many famous groups. Most of the people in Port Verge are pirates or privateers, so a lot of his clients are sailors. That's not super unusual. And then for Kawaii Food TV, you know that Sal used to be called Terrible Sal and was a matchmaker for pirates. So he was really into the, like, here are some, thugs to put on your pirate boat. But he changed his name to Terrific Sal and was too cheap to buy a whole sign. So he bought half of a sign and replaced just the ibble on the sign. So I guess just the bull. So with that, Terrible Sal has become Terrific Sal, and you are now dealing with him. Sal is he's a dwarf, so he is somewhere again between Cinnamon and Ernie in height. He's like 4'7". He's got a balding top of his head, a long curling beard, and he has a smile just full of gleaming teeth like a car salesman, because that's basically what he is, but for people, and one gold tooth. He's wearing a sailcloth, like a big duster type jacket, and thick leather pants. He's got on like a vest under that, a collared shirt, braces, and he has a carnation in like the boutonniere hole of his jacket. His shoes are well shined. He's wearing several earrings, and right now he's giving the two of you his full, undivided, 24-karat smile attention. So he says, "I've got just the job for you. It's perfect, exactly what your talents individually are made for."
I'm listening.
That's perfect. Go ahead.
I'm listening.
Okay, that was it. I'm done. You two are great. I love how you don't ask any questions. They'll be here any second to pick you up.
Otri will just she'll quietly just nod and kind of fold her arms.
I could not ask for anything else.
You've also just been whittling with a little figurine the whole time.
That's real nice. Did you want to sell that too? I can make another deal for you for that. I can find a buyer.
Yeah, there's no telling what it is right now. He's just in the middle of it.
He absolutely does not care. He's there for the deal. Okay.
Josh doesn't answer.
I'm just gonna let you two do the thing you're doing. It's great. I love it. It's beautiful. Keep doing it exactly like this. There's water over there outside in the ocean, and I'll be back in a few minutes. And with that, he walks to a different part of the shop and starts talking to two other people with his hands up like this. It's very loud, but it's also not really directed at you. So, do the two of you have anything you want to exchange in this quiet moment together?
I'm not 100% sure. I think poetry is still kind of just the almost dead silent, kind of creepily silent type. Just kind of, she'd rather listen and maybe answer questions as needed.
That's fair.
Hivash doesn't trust the situation at all, but he's just, I'm here, so why not see what he's got?
Love it. Yeah, there is no reason to. The walls here, like if boards could be any farther apart and constitute a wall, they would be. I mean, the chairs are made with like the exact number of pieces of wood necessary to constitute a chair. Everything here is cheap, and not because it's badly made, but because it is purposely cheap. Like someone went down to the store and said, "Give me the cheapest office you have." That's what they got. So with all those things in mind, and you two waiting for your work, Ernie and Cinnamon, Ernie just a moment before, you have landed in the port of Port Verge. And when I mean in the port, I do mean make a dexterity check, because you are probably landing in the water.
I was rolling as well, so I don't know.
This could be a
that's
dexterity
right.
saving throw, to be technical. Throw.
Come on, Alice, this is your one.
All
good thing.
right, come on.
Come on.
This
I
is
have
the one thing that I
+7.
do.
Yeah,
You are both
of
not
us.
in the water. You have both landed on the port, on the dock. It's great. So yay, you were literal inches from the water. This portal brought you down right at the edge of Port Verge, and you have a little piece of paper that says Terrific Sal's Adventurers for Hire. Would the two of you like to make a history check to see if you've ever heard of Terrific Sal?
Sure.
Like something bards
Yeah,
would be
why
good
not?
at. Yeah, why not?
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Okay. So Cinnamon has heard of Terrible Sal's Pirates for Hire before, so there's that. And you can extrapolate from that. We're going to give Ernie a little bit more. Sal used to be a pirate himself, but he was terrible at it. So first off, he hired his crew out to a different pirate. Second off, when people started calling him terrible, he made it into a brand name for his Pirates for Hire business. So he really knows how to turn something around.
Yeah, I think Ernie, when she fell out of the because she tucked and rolled through the portal, she sort of like hanging off the edge slightly, quickly stands up, brushes herself off, and looks, says, "Oh, pirates!" Like just sort of looking up at the sea. It's like terrible pirates. Like just sort of looking at the sign and everything else, and looking down at the address to check it's exactly what she thinks it is.
So in my mind's eye, Ernie says that, looks down at the piece of paper. The camera does one of those Z pans out, and we see that Ernie is like literally surrounded by pirates on every street corner,
like, oh,
walking
no.
by.
Mainly because she knows that she probably will get on very well with pirates, so is used to being the only one, not having multiple ones.
Okay.
Is this the right place? Is this where we have to?
Yeah. No, this is the right place. So this. Okay. So there's this guy who was a pirate,
And she starts like relaying everything off.
it's just, and then he hires out the pirates, and then you can hire the pirates, or you can be hired, or it's a real mix match thing. I mean, it makes sense now for not a dance off, but a sing off. That pirates are involved because sea shanties, and I mean
As
that
pirates sing. Shall we go and see if we can find some backup singers or dancers or someone to play some other instruments?
I mean, I really want to see a pirate backup dance. I'm not gonna lie. It's just- okay, right. Listen, when you go in there, we're probably you walk in with confidence. You walk in with your shoulders straight and chest puffed up, and walk as if you're meant to be there. Like you got to show some sort of authority.
Got it.
Okay.
So if you've ever seen the scene from Mulan where like Mushu is telling her to march into camp,
The same, yeah.
that is exactly how Ernie has puffed up Cinnamon, and she's just marching in, arms swinging, trying
She's
to be
like,
confident.
Sort of hurries in. with
Okay, so 5 minutes ago, let's have Kivash and Poetry make perception checks. Ooh, very nice. Kivash has got it. Why are you guys both insane? Okay, so off in the distance, a person walks into the shop, and they walk over to Sal, and they look upset. They're wearing what looks to you like they're in like a restaurant uniform. So, and they're still wearing their apron and everything like that. And they say, "I need entertainers fast. I need whatever you've got." And Sal says, "No problem. I've got exactly what you want. Here, walk over this way with me." And starts walking over. A few minutes later, you see two people leaving the shop with Sal, like with this restaurateur. They're gone. And now, flashing 5 minutes to now, or to now, here we go. We've got Ernie and Cinnamon walking in, Cinnamon doing the Mulan March, and Ernie walking in with the same sort of swagger, I'm sure. And Sal says, "Welcome to Terrific Sal's Adventurers for Hire."
Hello, is this you?
and holds up the address.
"Yes, I do believe that's me."
We need backup singers or dancers or people who can play instruments, have that real sort of musical flair and talent about them. You got anyone like that?
"Right, this note says Arizia sent you?"
That's correct.
Yes.
"Right, okay, yes." And with that, Sal says, "Come on, let's go introduce you to your talent."
Oh, fab.
And starts walking up to you.
Cinnamon continues her march.
Yeah, she, like anything.
Like, turn it down, turn it down.
I'm just doing what you told me to.
I choose to believe that this small shop is like the equivalent of filled with conference rooms, and it's just like you go from room to room. And so, Sal just opens the door. "Here you go. The best I've got. This is Poetry, and this is Kivash."
Hi, I'm Cinnamon. Nice to meet you.
Like,
I think she reaches probably for whoever's closest to her's hand, if that's Poetry or Kivash. And probably is like doing this.
I was gonna say, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
Poetry will quite kind of confused look. She'll, return the shake of hand from Cinnamon.
And if Cinnamon goes up to Poetry, Ernie will stride right up to Kavash and just like,
Hello. Remember what
Oh,
cult
you-
is?
and shakes your hand. She feels like she's shaking it really hard, but you probably can't feel things. She's very weak. She's very, very weak, even though she's trying.
She's like, so, are you singers, dancers,
Instrument players, as she taps her lute on the back.
she's like,
Sal says, now,
interpretive
before you get into
dance.
this too much, real quick, I need the room later. So let me show you the door.
So
okay.
we can't like have a okay.
all right, bye.
No, they're coming with you. Come on, poetry. Kivash, come on, let's go.
Yeah, this way.
And Ernie just walk out and tries to walk quite proudly again. It's more of a shuffle in her coat.
Yeah, Sal is like pulling you towards the door.
Yes,
Oh.
He
okay.
goes, okay, I've already been paid, so bye.
Bye.
Poetry will kind of have to duck it a little just so her horns don't go through the door frame.
Sure, yeah.
Stroll after. The whittling.
Are we
Mhm.
back out in the street now then?
Yes, and inside the door, just so everybody in the audience knows, Sal goes, okay.
So to give you some background, we are going to be in a singing competition, music competition.
And I go ding.
Yay! So, poetry, Kavash, singers, dancers, instrument players.
Interpretive dance.
Out of character, a bit of a background. Kivash looks and practices the same martial arts as Eddie Gordo.
Oh, I'm so happy.
All I can think of is
Sweet.
he's wearing like shiny pants.
So he just nods.
I was like, okay, so like dancing kind of jam. You can never, and I mean, your name's poetry, so you gotta be good with words, right? Or is it an ironic thing?
Cinnamon like elbows Ernie.
I'm
Can't
just trying to
Say
figure
things
it
like that
out.
about people's names.
I know.
So pausing.
She'll just kind of like blink for a moment, go and kind of lean down, probably a little bit, just to get on eye level with Ernie and say,
She stands on her tiptoes.
"Sure," and then kind of stand up.
So we got singers, dancers,
Fine lute players. As she sort of like taps her lute again.
and Cinnamon. We got well. There's technically two singers.
This is great. I think. Oh, do the two of you like have a place to live? Is there a place we could go, like do a rehearsal?
I mean, I'm
Probably
good
just stay
here.
in an inn.
Oh yeah, we could do like a free concert for the inn that you're staying at.
I guess.
Wait.
I love how unchatty these two are. We're like, hey!
Yeah, people are not picking up the vibe that Ernie and Cinnamon are putting out these last couple weeks. It's great. About this time, Sal opens the door and like looks around and is very surprised you're both there and covers it up very quickly. By the way, I almost forgot. Here are your instructions for you where you are supposed to go.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And he is holding his hand out for a tip.
Ernie
Cinnamon
looks at
doesn't
him.
understand it and like high fives.
Yeah, and then he's like, "You got this, bud," and starts walking away. He's like, "Come, friends," and starts walking away.
All right. And he walks back inside.
I thought he would have been more of a fist bump kind of guy. But you know.
Maybe he's part of the cult too. I didn't actually look at his hand. I just slapped it.
Yeah, you've been doing that a lot lately, and I'm trying to figure out if it and maybe it's an appropriate thing. Is that how people in cults greet each other?
I mean, you know, with the that executive whatever, she seemed to like it.
She did, didn't she? Yeah. I need to remember to do that next time. Maybe that's why she looked so like angry afterwards because I didn't do it.
I think that's just how people in cults greet each other. Like it's like, you know, like touching of the hand of the.
Oh, like a high five and a scowl.
Yeah. And you like touch the hand stamps together.
Yeah. You gotta touch hand stamps and then scowl. I need to work on my scowl. We should practice on that later.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
No, we gotta practice this first though. We gotta read the instructions. Read the instructions.
As she starts opening up the paper, and tries to stand sort of in between all three of them so they can read over her shoulder because she's so short. And looks down.
It says you have to go to Dock 9 at noon.
What time is it now?
I look to the sky.
That's a good question. It looks like it must be closely approaching noon.
There are clocks in Eberron, but
there are, but who wouldn't just look in the sky? You're right there. The sky's right there.
What time did you say it was? Sorry.
Close to noon. Like you probably have a while. You could take a leisurely stroll or enjoy like a light lunch.
A leisurely march.
Ice cream. We are by a seaside town.
Yeah. When do we have to be there?
In about 15 minutes.
Oh.
That's enough time for ice cream, right? You two
want
ice cream?
It looks up towards Gavish and Poetry.
Ice cream?
I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't pass up on ice cream.
Ice cream
All
it
right.
is.
As we're walking towards ice cream, I think Cinnamon's just going to be like, we need to come up with a group name. This is really important so that we can show unity and that, people will be afraid of us and be intimidated when they hear our name when we go up and compete.
Intimidated by us? Oh, you mean
I'm-
to strike the fear into the opposing team?
Yeah.
We should probably finish the ice creams before we walk up there then.
Also, is there any ice cream stores around?
Oh, yeah.
There's got to be a ice cream store. How could I not include an ice cream store at this point in the story, right? I mean, when you think about seaside towns, yes, there is an ice cream store. It is called Three Scoops. It is right out there on the pier where you are all at, and it's like what's the term? Like stool seating. So they've got an ice cream counter, and all of these dishes are large for a human-sized person. So they're going to be extremely large for Ernie, which is exactly how you want it, I would imagine. Yep. So they are very large ice cream sundaes with ice cream and whipped cream on top and nuts and toppings of different kinds that you can select from the bar. How about that?
Ooh.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I think she sort of climbs up onto the stool.
You hear that? Hello.
She looks towards the ice cream and
It's like, do you do Knickerbocker Glories?
The ice cream person is the same height as you, and she says, what exactly is that now?
Well, I get a tall glass thing, and then you put in the fruit, and you put in the chocolate, and then you put in the ice cream, and then you put in the jelly, and then you put in the fruit, and then you put in the chocolate, then you put in the ice cream, and you put a jelly, and normally you stick something really bright like a firework in the top of it.
Okay. I can do most of that. I don't think I have a firework, but I can handle the ice cream. No problem.
That's fair. I want to see if I've got one.
Yes. Okay, well, enjoy your large bowl of ice cream that you can put a firework on.
Thank you.
How about, let's mix it up. Let's go Poetry. What's Poetry going to order?
She's probably just gonna, get the daintiest kind of cup of vanilla she can. Just kind of like it would fit into her palm. And she'd be very careful because the size difference.
I like that. I'm imagining this gnome-sized person with a very large ice cream scoop trying to put a very small scoop of ice cream into a teacup, and perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very small. It looks like when you're eating a soft-boiled, hard-boiled egg in a cup.
Mm-hmm. Very, very kind of contrasting heavily with Ernie and her massive bowl of ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Things.
Good stuff.
Her concoction.
We're going to go Cinnamon last because I'm in suspense. But let's say, Kivash, what do you want to order?
He's gonna get a bowl with 3 scoops, 2 chocolate, 1 vanilla with cherries and chocolate syrup on it.
Okay, perfect. You can't beat the classics. Right there, looks great, tastes great. And then how about Cinnamon?
I think she'll come up to the counter after everybody. What's the house special?
Oh, you want the special?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. And like turns around and comes back, and there's like a 2-tiered bowl with like ice cream around the edge, and there's like a big whipped cream sprinkle thing in the middle, and there's like cascades of sprinkles and different syrups that's gone down the side. That'll be 4 gold pieces.
Annie's
Goes into
that pocket.
She's got so many pockets in this game. And then does that.
I don't know if like Cinnamon has ever been paid for any of the things that she's done.
I would highly doubt it.
She slaps the coins down and like puts the rock back in her pocket and also the you know, the party things that you like, and they have like the long where she has that and puts it back in her pocket as well.
And she looks, she's like, you know, just in case.
So you all have ice cream.
Just slowly trying to go from the top.
Yeah, sitting on a stool, eating a giant ice cream is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a long spoon, it'd be appreciated because I'm already short. So I asked for a tall glass, and I'm just sort of like scooping it off the top.
I think as we're eating, Cinnamon's like still trying to figure out a name. Just, Poetry, I mean, you told us that you were good with words. What would you name a group like us? I mean, Kivash, if you wanna join in, I don't want to like just pinpoint Poetry here, but you know, her name was pretty apt for this job.
Poetry's just gonna kind of like pause mid spoonful, kind of like, huh? Oh, name. She's gonna like probably like pause a bit because she's not the brightest one, so she's probably gonna take a while kind of thinking of names now and totally forget about her ice cream.
I also really liked the name of whatever you got, Ernie. The Knickerbocker Delight Special?
Knickerbocker Glories.
Knickerbocker Glories. Okay, I like that. I
have them every year on my birthday.
Kivash, any ideas? We just have to be really fierce. Strike fear into the heart of our opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Cinnamon does not look scary at all doing this.
Any of us do.
Kivash just thinks to himself for a second. Could just go with the name of that cult you were talking about.
Can you imagine the fear? Because people know who Sulkatesh is, right?
I mean, that could work. We could be like the Soul Katesh sisters. SOUL. Get it? Soul.
Or Katesh and the Knickerbocker Glories. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
And she sat there and you can hear that clank of metal against the glass as she's like slowly getting the last of it out. She sort of tipped it down to her, so she's like this, digging out the bottom bits.
Or we have no name at all and leave it as an element of mystery. You know, so like if they go, oh, who are you? Like, you know, wouldn't you like to know? But that's actually our name.
I like it. Wouldn't you like to know?
Say it with confidence. It'll be fine.
All right, we can be the wouldn't you like to knows.
Oh my god.
Okay, but remember, walk in with confidence. Have we got a routine we want to do, or are we just gonna dive in and hope for the best?
I like improvisation.
Okay, we can do that. I can do that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and then she takes the last of that ice cream that's melted and just like down from the bottom. Like,
okay, I'm done.
And she sort of does that awkward shuffle and sort of half falls off the stool.
See her with like an ice cream mustache.
Okay, so good news is ice cream shop to the dock, very short trip. So you've arrived at pier number 9, and you're there, and there's no boat there, and there's no sign of anybody there. And it is noon.
Are you sure this is where we're supposed to go? Can we take a look again?
She checks the papers.
Did they give us? Oh, is this a setup? Did they send us to the wrong pier? Does this mean we forfeit?
Is that
Yeah.
9 or is that 6?
Like turning backwards and forwards. And then she starts like looking under the pier, like she'll hang over the side to have a look.
Mhm.
I don't understand. This is the right number.
It is the right number, right?
It is, and we start getting mist lifting up off the water despite the brightness of day, and it's like coming up in a big heavy cloud. And you see the prow of a boat starting to push through. And at about this point you realize it is entirely made of bones that look like they are like elongated human bones, like maybe giant bones or something like that. And it's like a giant Viking, like a caravel type ship that's just slowly pushing itself up to the pier, and it just kind of like gently knocks against it with that little hollow bone sound. There is no one aboard.
Ernie, when this is over, remind me to tell Miss Sulkatesh that we really need to work on the interior decorations.
Well, actually, this I think is very rock and roll.
And she sort of looks like at this boat just made out of bones. It's
I mean,
and sort of, like looks at it. Like, is it close enough to touch? Like, just to
Oh yeah.
check? Yeah,
Mhm.
she's just like checking it's really there because it came through a mist. And she's like,
well, it's the time.
Do you think we should get on?
As they're saying this
Hi.
poetry is getting on.
Poetry is on the boat. Nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, poetry's on. Cinnamon's gonna do the confident
I said
walk on as
Power
well.
walk, left, right. Like,
she gets and she's like, come on, Kivash. And like as she starts marching.
I should go on last.
Yeah. And it all goes well, and the boat is there, and then it doesn't turn around or anything like that. It just starts going backwards.
Who's sailing, driving? What? That's what they say on a boat, right?
And then she sort of starts. She wants to go to where the helm would be to see if she can find anyone.
Okay. This boat is only like 12 feet long, and there are the 4 of you on it and some bones. That's it.
Kivash is just unfazed by all this. He's still whittling.
Just there whittling on a bone boat.
He's completely calm.
Yeah. On the other hand, poetry, who starting to get a little seasick, so she's gonna quickly go to the other side and lean over.
Okay. Are you taking a look down in the water while you're doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. So while you are doing this, you see the boat is going on the other direction. It has 2 like creepy duck feet that are paddling underneath the water made of bones.
I've always wanted a boat.
So the boat is paddling itself.
Like the Fred Flintstone of boats.
A Flintstone boat that powers itself, yes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's the Baba Yaga boat.
So with that, you have... Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I look over to Cinnamon, who, and I'm looking at Perch.
Do you think she's okay?
Yeah, maybe ice cream before a boat ride wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, maybe not.
I'm sort of looking over and is like,
I mean, maybe you should just eat more ice cream and then you get used to it. You know, I was like that once.
So this is going to be a long boat trip. It's going to go for hours. The boat goes very, very slow. So I don't know if poetry's stomach acclimates to that, but
After a
it's
while.
not going it's not going to go fast. You have a long period of time where you're in the boat. You see like an occasional fin pop up and just kind of like cruise alongside the boat. The sun's just like, it's going in your direction as far as you can tell. So it's always at your back. So it does not get any cooler. That would be no fun. And then there's a little bit more mist after generously 6 hours of being in this boat. So, yeah, I know. It's a
I would
long
have
boat
pulled out a
ride.
deck of cards or something.
It's a good idea. That's a good idea. Passing the time in the boat's good. As we get to the point where the mists start rolling in, the really creepy part is where you see the sun's been like going in your direction, and it's like it almost like bounces off and starts going back the other way, and you all just keep going. And you see land in front of you. It's an island that looks not unlike the one you saw before that you just left at Port Verge, but this one looks abandoned. There is no sign of a dock. And it's like you just like gently bump up onto a rocky shore. But in the distance, you can see buildings, and they look like they're very nice, fine buildings, very blocky and square, and there are hints of gold and other metal ornamentation in the distance.
Is this it?
I don't see anybody that looks like they might be a singer.
No, but then I don't see anyone at all. Maybe they're shy. Maybe they're indoors already waiting.
It's
There's
true.
some pretty shiny places up there.
What did the instructions say? Is there anything else?
You have turned it upside down and flipped it over front and backwards and so forth, so...
She sort of looks over and is like,
No, I think this is. I don't know.
In
Are
the
we
distance
docked?
you hear, yeah, you're kind of docked. The boat has at least stopped paddling at you. There's not really a dock per se, but in the distance you start hearing that like gravel crunch of footsteps coming up towards you, and there is someone in the distance who is more poetry and Kivash's height than Ernie and Cinnamon's, walking towards you. You see like the bottom of a long coat kind of swaying back and forth, and they're walking up. It's a male person. Doesn't look like they're totally human. You're not totally sure of what their lineage might be. They don't have like really pointed ears. They're very hairy around the edges of their face and like their scalp and so forth. They're wearing a like high collared shirt that's open fairly low though, and many like 25 gold necklaces, and they're walking down the like rocky sandy beach towards you. Which one of you is Solkatesh?
Do we lie?
No, I don't think. I don't feel like I look like Solkatesh, and I don't think anybody here looks like Solkatesh.
Well, if they're saying which one of you is, I mean, who's asking?
My name is Murph. I'm just supposed to show you where the competition spot is.
Okay, I have a feeling someone else other than Murph might know what she looks like.
Well, can Solkatesh like change how she looks? She's kind of like a powerful lich. What do you think?
I mean, powerful lich, yeah, but she look pretty old. I don't know if that's like a thing she can do anymore. If we know, we come with a message.
she sort of like shouts back through the mist.
From Sulkatesh.
Okay.
Did you say your name was Murph?
Yeah, it's Murph.
Hi, Murph. Like, this is sort of like she waves at him a little bit through the fog.
Okay, hi. Do you want to get out of your creepy boat and come out here on the island?
I want to point out this is not my boat. It is creepy, but I did not choose for this aesthetic.
There is someone in that boat talking, right? I can see a couple people, but I can barely see anything over the edge of that boat.
Right, that's it. Let me.
The boat starts rocking, and she sort of tries to get towards like the bow of the boat.
So Murph is like an average human, like a 5'10", and he's got like hair that's just long down to shoulders and just looks very unkempt and just ragged. If you had to put a name on it right away, you would say pirate, but maybe that's too fine a point. This coat that he's wearing, which is very fine, and it has like velvet and embroidery and like gold buttons and so forth, is definitely not his coat, because the rest of his clothes look like he just jumped off a ship. And these like 25 gold necklaces, I mean, they're not his gold necklaces. There's no chance. He's also wearing like a long curved golden sword at his hip.
Apart from the necklaces, we look the same.
No, your coat has style, and his coat is like a big, like he's wearing like Captain Hook's coat. If someone just like stole it off of Captain Hook's body.
I'd steal that coat. But yeah,
are we quite shallow now? Like shallow enough if Ernie jumped off, she wouldn't disappear, and she is short.
Like
so
personally, or like water-wise?
Water-wise.
Okay, never mind. So yeah, in terms of water, yeah, Ernie could get to shore quite easily, I think.
Yeah, she'll jump into the shallows and start shuffling through, holding her coat up as she goes, because she'll do anything to not get that wet.
I guess this is where we get off?
I suppose, as Poetry kind of lifts her dress up a little and kind of like what Ernie did with her coat, and as she gets out of the boat and follows suit, trying to get her clothes dry as best she can.
You're probably in like mid-shin level water at this point, so...
Kivash should put his things away in his pack and jump off as well.
Okay.
And Cinnamon will follow.
Okay. So Murph's standing there. He's like, hey, are you all set? This is everybody?
Yeah. Wouldn't you like to know?
Not yet.
I did ask. Yeah, I was just going to show you where the site is, so you know where your group sets up, and then that's it.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, thank you, Math. Lead the way.
Okay. Starts walking through. So you are in an area, you're in the Lazaire Isles. If anybody wants to make a history check, you are welcome to. It is in no way required, but it would be about where you are. There are a lot of buildings. They are all like a blocky square style of like cut stone. And there's a lot of gold and like very fancy ornamentation here on these walls. Okay, so it looks like Waifu and Alice, you guys have done real well here. So Ernie, you are the bard. This makes sense, right? There is a hidden, like mysterious island that it was once the capital of the Lazaire Principality. It's called Trebaz Sanara. And if you have heard the stories, which of course you have, this is it. I would say Poetry, I don't know, where do you think Poetry would have heard the story of Trebaz Sanara as the capital of the Lazaire Principalities?
Probably in her travels, as she was kind of, since her backstory is folk hero, I wouldn't say she's a folk hero in that kind of aspect, more of like a wandering, kind of helping people as needed along her travels. So she might have picked up some information doing odd jobs and things like that.
Yeah, this is a good story. This is like if you were ever to find a treasure map and there was an X marked on it, this is the kind of thing that would set off an epic voyage for someone to go find Trebaz Sanara. A lot of people have tried before. So, very good. So Murph is just walking through this in a very straight line, but to your left and your right, there are buildings that are falling down, and there is literal gold piling down into the streets. There are areas where there are like necklaces and swords and vases and so forth. This is an island covered in loot and treasure, and he's just walking through it very casually.
I think Ernie's doing a light jog to keep up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does move rather quickly and does not seem to be interested in stopping, so that might make sense. And after he kind of like you do that thing where you like jump on one side, jump on another side, you land down in the big plaza. There's a large, what looks like it used to be a marketplace, and there's a crumbling palace or temple over to one side where there's just a big statue, and then across from you, directly up ahead, there is like a silk, what's the term I used here? There's an encampment here where it's just all silk draped tents that are all like shimmering bronze in color, and you can see lights within, like people have lanterns or torches or something like that, and there's at least 3 or 4 silhouettes moving around inside of those tents. So Murph says, okay, that's the other group. And then he points over at the empty spot in the plaza that's over on the other side. And it just looks like it's an empty old marketplace. Like maybe this used to have like tents or stalls or something like that. And just kind of points. He goes, and you could set up over there.
Oh, set up over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Murph.
Thank you, Murph.
Okay. Good luck. Let me know if you need anything. I'll be back tomorrow night for the contest.
Okay, bye.
Tomorrow night?
Right. Tomorrow night, the contest.
I thought it was
now.
today.
Oh, do you just want to get things over with like now? I can.
Not get over with. We were just curious.
I'll ask
We were
Star. I mean, that's no
told
problem.
today.
Yeah, we could just. Yeah.
Could we meet Star?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll go talk to Star.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
remember, that's the
Okay, you can just
Bible,
sit over
isn't it?
there. It'll be a little bit.
Okay.
And
Okay.
setting up wise, I don't know what.
There's not much setting up.
Is there
Yeah,
anything
so-
there that we can use?
This area is literally a treasure trove. So just let me know what you want to do. But then you've got like a big market square that's just been brushed clean. There's another one that's opposite you where this big silk encampment is. And then there's this temple that's crumbling down with this statue of a woman there. And I'm going to describe them real quick. There's a woman, you can't see the expression on the face, but there's a big face. This is about 25 feet tall. There's one hand that's out in kind of like a beckoning gesture like this with the finger slightly raised, and the other hand is on the shoulder and it's holding a long, thin gold scimitar. And the statue ends, so it goes from head down to just below the hips. So there's like the shape of legs, but the statue ends there at the ground.
That's pretty shiny.
Like looking at the scimitar wide-eyed.
No, Annie, don't touch it. Don't touch
And she sort of tries to walk away.
So, should we like show each other what we can do? Because I'd really like to see Kavash dance.
I would too.
And Ernie, I'm sure you could play your lute for us.
Yeah, no, I can do that. I can do that.
And she starts to take it off her back and just get comfortable and starts like winding the strings.
They're like some like plinking one string tuning.
Do, 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 do. Yeah.
Kivash will start stretching, just loosening himself up. Eventually, he'll start. It's basically his morning workout, but it looks like a dance. And so he's basically like doing rolls, slides, handstands. Just
Love it.
Cinnamon's just enraptured.
Yeah, I
Poetry's
think Annie was tuning but has stopped to fully watch now.
he's basically keeping the beat in his head.
Poetry's just kind of like watching them, just kind of like sets her warhammer to the ground with like a heavy thud, and then kind of just looks like she was about to do something before she gets kind of distracted with Kavash.
I think Ernie's pulled out because she's got loads of like note paper and stuff like that, which she normally uses for forgery, but she's got different coloured ones. She's going to start cutting it up into small squares. She's making confetti because they haven't got much else. She's just there like.
That's a good
Kivash
plan. I like that.
will go on for like 30 minutes to an hour doing this.
Yeah, like Ernie's watching like.
He's still going.
Like, he hasn't stopped.
So I think the way that scene ends is there's like a small but definitely noticeable booming sound from the other plaza, and the entryway of the big silk tent kind of flies open, so you can see the very amber colored light coming from within, and a lady starts striding in your direction. They're wearing like very long embroidered robes. They have pale skin, long black hair that's framing their face, going all the way down her back. She's wearing sparkling, shimmering bronze robes. So this like heavy embroidery that go all the way down to her feet. And she has very bright, very small, like embroidered bronze slippers. She's also wearing a lot of hair ornaments and bracelets that are made out of coral and shell. So she's walking directly towards you and like fierce striding.
I think this is her.
You see Murph like running behind her, and as she gets about 20 feet away, she stops, looks at Kivash up and down like this from the dance that he was doing, and then looks at all of you. Where's Solkatesh?
Hello. I'm Cinnamon.
Annie.
Yes.
And
And
like-
wouldn't you like to know?
Gestures to the group.
She looks
Poetry.
dumbstruck.
Yeah. Poetry is going to give that like awkward silence of not really answering, just kind of that awkward pause that keeps going and going and going until somebody breaks it.
And we're here to represent Solkatesh.
As champions.
Champions.
Singing and dance, musical champions. Holds the
Represent her.
Yeah.
And I high five
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
He just goes, I should have known she'd find some way to snake out of this like a snake because she's such a snake.
Actually, I don't think she is a snake. I'm not fully sure what she is. But she's definitely not a snake.
Look,
It's okay. Look, we're here in her place.
And we
fine.
can
I
sing.
don't mind beating you instead of her. It's fine, but it's a metaphor.
But Kavesh
snake
is a
thing is-
very good dancer.
Yeah, I saw that. That was really good.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. And then we have the two singers extraordinaires, and I play Maluk. It'll be a hell of a show.
I don't know if I should be insulted or mad and insulted. And so I'm going to go think about that for a while.
Oh, no, don't worry. You should be like, you don't need to be either, because we're here and we're going to make this fabulous for you. And she goes, bah,
and throws up some of the squares.
I really hope someone has clipped Alice going like that, because that's all I want to see. Oh, that's so great.
Perfect, Jeff.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Damn, I need actual glitter.
Star just looks very upset and says, it's fine. The important thing is I'm going to beat you all, and when I win, Solkatesh will have lost, and then you can go back and tell her that she lost. That's all.
You're so confident.
You
I like it.
are. And wouldn't you like to know?
Is that a metaphor too?
That's our band name.
Yeah. You know, so like when people ask us, we could be like, wouldn't you like to know?
It's like mysterious. And...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intimidating. Just like these two tiny people being
As they say that, poetry kind of stands up behind them, kind of just towering over them.
I think Star is like a middling height here too. She's like 5'2", so yeah, poetry's like a full foot taller than me. So that's good. She's a Jew?
Yes. Is that a problem? You seem a
think
little
I'm insulted.
insulted. Yeah,
I think I'm insulted.
I'm learning people's like. I get it. Yeah.
And then Ernie sort of bites her lip and doesn't say something. But it's
if you want to send your followers to compete against us, that would be fine too. don't you have like followers that you put like little hand stamps on?
If you're worried, we can always equal the playing field if you want to send your champions in.
No, I brought. No. She's like pointing at Murph, and Murph's like,
I looked to Murph.
no.
We have to compete against Murph?
You don't have to compete. No, I'm going to do it. Oh, I'm here to perform. It's my performance.
So are you singing, dancing, like playing, or all three in one?
I will be singing and some light dancing, and then I have some accompanists.
Ah, what's your
Oh,
band name?
Star Seong.
It's not very original.
isn't that just your name?
Yeah.
It's just my name.
Yeah. But there's more than one of you.
Shouldn't it be like?
No one even cares who they are. And she's like pointing right at me.
I
She's
do.
like,
Who are you?
As I lean round Star,
He's
like,
Everyone's a part of this. What does this mean?
Murph's like, no, it's okay.
So when do you want to do this? Now? Later? We're ready?
After
Are
dinner?
you sure you're ready?
I mean, I feel pretty ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did she even tell you how this works?
and
No.
she pulls out the paper and tries to check if there's anything on the paper.
Kivash will finally walk up. Who's going to be judging this competition?
That's a good question.
She points over her shoulder back at the giant statue and says, the statue is going to be the judge, of course.
Of course.
I'm missing
You-
something. How do statues listen to music?
She didn't tell you anything, did she?
I'm really feeling she didn't.
I think they like rock music.
Oh God.
It was good. It was good. It's that episode. We're doing well. So with that, Star just like points back and goes like, look, this is a statue. If it likes what you do, the palm goes out and up like this. If it doesn't like what you do, palm goes down like that.
Well, does it have a favorite? Does it have a
Does it have
genre?
Does it take
I thought you were
requests?
ready now. I tell you what, how about I give you an hour and you can see if you can figure it out for yourselves.
I can do that.
Fine. And she does an elaborate hair throw turn and walks off in the distance. Yes.
And
Merce still stay there? He goes like,
ruffled
"Oh."
up by it, and it's like
Uh,
tries to flick her pixie
Her
arm
short
away.
I was hoping for Murph to do the same thing.
Murph has like shoulder length, just long, like ratty hair. So I don't know if it would do the same thing. If he did that, he'd probably have all the gold necklaces like swing around over his shoulders. That would be good.
Probably-
Okay, so we better start working it out, I guess.
Do you want to try something?
And she starts to go through, like, she'll play the greatest song in the world. She will play Shake Your Tail Feather. She will play some Frank Sinatra. She'll go through all these different genres of music.
Okay. So, and you're doing this where you're currently located at your base camp, correct?
Yeah, she'll go up to the statue and sit right beneath it and
Oh,
pull
okay.
her lute out
So-
and start to play.
That's a good idea because when you go up there, you notice there is like a marked circular area of the stone below it that seems like it's distinct. And there's like a little bit of a gold band that's been inlaid into the floor. So there's definitely a radius or an area that's been set off for this. So you go up there and you're going to make a performance type check. I think this is going to be a performance check that's going to tell you, unless you have a better skill you can think of, I think this is performance to tell you how the statue works.
Okay. Performance. Oh, 12.
Okay. You don't know if it's a fact that the statue likes, something more contemporary, or maybe it's just not a big fan of
Is it
loot.
there going,
Maybe you don't see the statue change at all. That's the problem. You got no read on it.
And she's looking up and it's like,
Do you like modern?
yeah, she just starts asking it, but yeah, I think that's just where people will find her.
So with this statue, the face of the statue in particular, it's got kind of like a wild, like wide-eyed, like kind of unpredictable look to the face. For something that you're going to capture in stone, this has a chaotic energy to the face that you may not have suggested or expected. In Eberron, you have the sovereign host, who are like the major pantheon. And this seems like it would be a statue that's representing Eladra, who is the sovereign of feast and fortune and the patron of entertainers and so forth. Something Ernie would definitely be familiar with. But there is like a unexpected sharpness to the statue between the sword and the fact that the statue really looks like it's thinking about taking a bite out of you. It just does not seem like it's a happy, carefree type representation of Eladra.
Sorry, carry on. You keep going while I think.
Ernie, any luck? Any genres?
You'll look over and she's just started playing her lute and screaming at it. There's no words anymore. It's just screaming.
I think it's going well.
Yeah, because Cinnamon's looking at it and the hand is like starting to move a little bit. Like the fingers are flexing out just a little bit. Like something's happening. And I think that's probably the perfect place for us to take our quick break and come on back refreshed.
Yes. Everyone go stretch your legs, grab a drink, tell your pets you love them, and we will be back in just a moment.
Oh no, Jimmy! Heckna's after us! What are we gonna do? Sword beats face! Ha! Looks like you really lost your edge, huh? Huh? God, I'm funny. So, I guess weapons don't... Weapons don't work! Hey, why aren't you laughing? Oh, I know! Let me hit you with the punchline! Wait! My animated spell cards! They can save us! Well, jeepers, Jane. Blast him! Avada Kedavra! Right in the funny bone. Bleh. I really don't like that guy. We did it! Yeah!
Defeat your greatest foes with the most powerful spells. Animated spells are back, with level 6 to 9. Each spell card features 8 frames of looping animation that makes the spell come to life, and contains all the spell details on the back. And for the first time, you can divine with a fully animated tarot card deck. Will you read Fortune or Folly?
Jane! Heckna's reforming! Not on my watch! Meteor swarm!
Go to animatedspells.com and back the Kickstarter today.
So, we're live. So, we are here in the shadow of this gigantic statue, and we have figured out that screaming and strumming aggressively on your lute seems to at least make it do something. Because the hand just kind of like started moving from its like beckoning position where the fingers are like flattening out a little bit. Are you just going to keep that up?
She's gonna do like an AC/DC style Thunderstruck kind of song where she's just getting faster and faster and louder, and there are no words though. She is just still screaming because she doesn't know what to do. Probably looks a little bit odd from behind her.
Yeah, so I think first off, the statue hand continues to flatten out in a very promising fashion. Obviously, there is loud, aggressive screaming going on, and from behind you, the tent has opened once again. You can see like that bright amber light as Star is now striding in your direction yet again.
She's gonna keep screaming.
Yep. Hand is staying flat, hand is staying palm up.
Hi.
What is this?
Oh, we were just figuring out what the statue liked, and
Yeah,
it seems
sounds
to be
like someone is dying.
this.
You can hear
Well,
it's working like, from the other side.
It's music.
I thought that the statue was the judge, and the statue seems to like it.
Star looks like she would like to throw up at this point, but is not physically currently feeling like she needs to throw up. She's caught in that awkward, like, she's basically judging you aggressively as this goes on. And yeah, just like,
Why is it not good?
Sort of stands up with her lute hanging down by her side.
How raspy is Ernie's voice at this point after the scream?
Why? What's wrong with it? Why doesn't it sound good?
It's
You
Star again,
haven't
just
got
like,
any water. Thank you.
she's just giving you the dirtiest look. It's like, ugh.
I'd like to look exactly like that back at her, please. Like, just...
Well, if you're so good, why don't you go and try?
I am saving it for the performance because I don't need to practice right now.
Oh, you're that confident.
I got here before you. I've been here before, and I was already ready to beat Selkatesh on this stage.
Yeah, but like, we're not.
Were you
Selkatesh.
ready to beat us?
By the way, the statue hand is closing up, so it does seem like, you know, there is some sort of measurable effect there. No, I was not ready to beat all of this.
Wouldn't you like to know?
What do you mean by all this?
I think she might not like your hair, Ernie.
Is that it? Is it my hair?
No, not at all.
What is it?
And she sort of walks, strides forward to Star.
Okay, so she is still like that, most of a foot taller than you. And she's looking at, she's like, look,
looking up, trying to puff her chest out.
look, if you want to scream at a statue and strum your lute like some sort of maniac while everyone else does whatever they're doing, fine. Do that, we'll just see who wins.
It's called rock and roll.
I don't know what that is, but I don't like it.
Well, a lot of people said they didn't like it at the beginning, but look where we are now.
She looks around, confused at this ruined town.
You've been on your island for too long. So you need to get out there and find some new music. Don't put that face at me.
Puts her hands on her hips.
You should appreciate other people's taste in music. I might hate yours.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you can't do that.
What genre is your music?
Yeah, what is this?
She gestures the same way. Ernie's riled
Like,
up because Ernie
pop-
hates it when people
Pop
challenge
music, I guess. Like, yeah.
Pop music.
Pop.
Uh-huh.
You own a skeleton boat and you play pop music?
That's not my skeleton boat.
Well, what is it then? Whose is it?
That's your creepy cult leader's skeleton boat. That's not my skeleton boat.
Well, it's more badass.
Yeah, my boat is normal and is pretty.
Like a boring boat. Like
Yeah.
every other boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Your
you
boat
get
has
my
weird duck
point.
feet.
What's wrong with the duck feet? I think it's endearing. It's original. It's different. Doesn't look like the other boats. I'm angry for the boat now.
People will remember the duck feet. People won't remember a boring old boat.
It's iconic.
People won't see the duck feet because they're under the boat. People are going to remember the creepy bones all over the boat. That I'm sure they remember. Look, how soon do you want to do this? Because I'm looking forward to you leaving this island in disgrace soon.
In disgrace.
I mean, in general, you will be in disgrace, but also beaten in this contest.
We'll see about that.
No. Looks back at the others. We need band t-shirts and walks away.
You didn't answer my question, she says as you're walking away.
It's because I'm a disgrace. And I walk away angrily.
I can just see her just.
In my head, like.
I do like how Alice and I make it a mission to like act like we like each other so little every time we roleplay anything together. It's so good.
You played my angry brother last season.
That's very, very fair. I deserve everything I get. Star is having a mini temper tantrum and is stamping her feet in the dirt in front of this little ring like, she didn't answer my question.
You know, if you keep doing that, you might get your boots or slippers dirty.
I have more. She turns around abruptly, starts walking off. You hear her yell, Murph!
Or Murph.
Or Murph.
Or Murph. So, is there anything going on between this period here and when Murph finds you back in your encampment area or somewhere else?
I would like to make band t-shirts, please.
Okay, very good. What is the skill we use to determine how good your band t-shirts look?
I'm
open to all options here.
I don't know if it'd be performance because I'm not too sure.
How do
Sleight
we
of
make band
hand, maybe,
t-shirts?
if it has to be, because I'm trying to do the Scratticus sort of logo or something, and it's not really t-shirts, it's more like denim jackets. Equivalent. Eberron equivalent.
So rock
So we've
and roll.
upgraded yeah. Okay, here's what I propose to you. I propose you go looting and you make a survival check to find all of the things you need to make these really cool denim jackets.
What is my survival? Oh no. Yeah, why not? I don't care if we get ugly jackets.
I do plan to use. Well, hold on. You may want to do that again. I do plan to use one of my disadvantages to make this bad for you.
No. What? So roll again, or?
I think that's fair since I didn't even finish telling you
I
it's
don't
gonna be
mind.
bad. I feel like yeah. Let's. Okay, there we go. So it's an 11. So this place is surprisingly well preserved for a ruin. Most things here are in fairly good repair and so forth. I think the problem you have is you're going to have to describe how you punkify these very, very fancy, ornate, like velvet pirate jackets that you found. These are more Captain Hook jackets.
I take a load of sticks and I start bending them. I get the loose sticks, like the driftwood, so they're slightly bendy from the water. I soak them in the water if I have to. I bend them round to create a circle. And I'll do the same to create these sort of bird shapes. And I will go down to the muddy bit by the shore, stick it in that, that really sort of dark, horrible mud you get when the tide goes too far out that, and she's stamping them on the back of these coat, so it's like a kind of almost like when people do it with paint, but it's like mud. And she will go around the beach and she will find seashells to stitch on as the eyes of the birds. She's also going to gather some of the shells to put in her pockets for other reasons. But she's just going to find things and add them on. It looks probably awful. I feel like the logo might be okay, but everything else looks just literally like a kid's school project from like infant school.
Okay.
If there was
is there
pasta,
anybody
there would
helping
be
you with this,
pasta.
though? The pasta would be great. I mean, I'd love to see that. Is anybody helping?
Can I have a macaroni sauce on the back of my coat, please?
You've got like tiny calories, maybe, but yeah.
Poetry will help her.
Okay. I'm going to let you take the 19. So despite the fact that you have very crude materials with the help from poetry, you have arranged 4 jackets that have an emblem on the back. And there is a general theme to the outfits. Yeah.
She's pretty proud of them.
See, poetry, we got this.
Very, what did you call it? Rock and roll?
Rock and roll, yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly, if I remember it. Yeah, rock and roll. Because,
and looks over towards the camp where
starts at 8, we need to blow their socks off. I don't even know if they're wearing socks, so we're going to blow them off. Blow those socks off.
I was just thinking... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
We could take their socks.
You want to steal their socks? I mean, if you want to, I don't know what you're gonna do with them.
Oh! You didn't mean it like that. Oh, okay.
I was thinking that poetry and I could probably add on to your vocals, Ernie, and then Kivash could like dance behind you.
Oh, I probably won't be singing. I can scream. But I do play the lute very, very well. If anything, I can like jive around a bit with Kivash and like, I can slide in and I can do all that jazz. Hello, Raiders. But yeah, I could do that. And then you two can sing, right?
Yeah, of course. Do you want to like play some music and we can sing on top of that?
I can do that.
And she starts off by like tapping the bass of the lute and starts going into a bit of a strum, as I said, very AC/DC style on this as she goes.
And now comes the part where we all realize that Cinnamon can only sing Disney songs.
Let it go.
And so as Ernie is playing this like AC/DC rock and roll and screaming in the background, just screaming, Cinnamon is going to what is the happiest Disney song you can possibly think of?
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. Oh no, you know what? It's For the First Time in Forever from Frozen. Just for the first time.
Oh, this is great.
The window is open, so is that door.
No, just
if you move across like the stage, I think Ernie will sit on her knees after you, like strumming this lute.
No, with poetry, just imagine that, but she's doing it in Infernal, so the sound's even worse. Very metal.
Kivash just like doing his like dance routine in the back.
I love it.
Stuff. That's good stuff. Okay. So as we all figure out what's going to happen here with this vote, as we get ready for our extra stuff, Murph has at some point found all of you and is like sitting very patiently like on a rock that's at the edge of your practice space, I will generously call this, as you're all doing your general things, and is like, Good job,
Hang on, who's saying this?
Murph.
Thanks, Murph. Do you want a jacket?
I don't think. I think Star would really hate that.
Can wear it inside out.
Oh, I've got this one. This one's fine.
I mean, okay.
And if anything, Annie stopped to watch Kavash doing his dance again because she finds it very sort of hypnotizing. You watch her try to do it, but it's not good. It's not like anywhere near. You know what? You know when a very small child tries to cartwheel for the first time? It's that. That's what Annie looks like.
So, are you all ready to do this?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because Star's really worked up, and
Oh, good. That's
how
where
fast
we
is that
want it
duck
to
boat?
be.
Is that pretty fast? You guys can leave fast when you're done?
I mean, I'm not planning on hanging around.
Yeah.
Like a prize.
Don't know. To be frank, I think this is one of those like two really powerful beings that don't like each other kind of things.
So there's no prize or anything like that.
I don't think you're gonna get anything out of it.
Okay, then I guess are we all ready?
She sort of
I mean,
looks
we're
around at
here.
everyone.
Perfect.
Real nod. She'll give a thumbs up.
Kivash should look up from his woodland that he went back to. Just nod.
Yeah, I'll go tell Star that we're ready in like 10 minutes.
Sounds good to me. We can limber up.
She starts rolling her shoulders.
And with that, off Murph goes, kind of looping along, disappearing into the darkness. So you're all going to roll up on the stage area. Any other surprising preparations I should know about?
I filled my pockets with seashells and confetti.
Yes, that sounds exactly like what I would expect. That's perfect. How about, let's go around. How about poetry? Does poetry have any like preparations we should know about? Any preparations for poetry that you want to share with us at this point?
Nothing yet. She'll most likely use thaumaturgy on her voice. She's gets that for the freebie for Tiefling. She'll most definitely use that with her singing.
Okay.
Regardless of how good or bad it is.
Good stuff. How about Kivash? Kivash, have any extra preparations?
He'll probably mostly talk to Ernie and see what kind of tune she plans on playing to basically keep the beat in his head.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know what, I guess the concept of beat is here. There's a beat.
Just
the rhythm.
Just whatever rhythm
yeah.
the music has.
I am not good at music stuff, so I'm going to leave that to all of you. But yes, there will be an understanding between you that music will happen. Okay, how about Cinnamon? Does Cinnamon have a secret plan here, anything like that?
Yes, she is going to basically make her outfit look as much Disney princess-like as possible with a jean jacket on. So what she's going to do is she's going to tie the bottom of her cloak, to like her wrists to be like the little bell sleeves that the Disney princesses have. She's going to like take her tunic out from her pants and just like let them fall so it looks like a dress. She's going to like spin around.
Okay. What is the check we make to make this look really great? What are you going to propose this as?
I think it's probably a performance check, don't you think?
Let's do that. If that sounds good to you, that sounds good to me.
All right. Let's see how this goes. Oh, okay.
Okay. I don't think that it looks bad. I think that maybe Cinnamon has not thought about her range of motion. Now that she has dropped her dress hem down to her ankles and has raised these like edges of her cloak and tied them to her arms.
All right.
That may come up at some point. Yeah, great. So everything's going super, super great, and everybody's having the most fun ever. And we are now at the showdown. You're in front of the statue. On Star Seong's side, she has Murph and like 3 random people. They are all wearing like Thai fisherman pants, like harem pants type pants. They are very sparkly bronze. They are wearing vests with no shirts on underneath. They have, between the 3 of them, at least 2-3 skins full of oil that they have rubbed all over their bodies. And they've all got like their hair pulled back in just like a simple like a head covering. So they all look like backup dancers, effectively. I think we've got like a hand drum and like a zither type instrument, and then those 2, maybe like 2 of those. So we've got like 3 very simple instruments on their side, but they're all dressed up, looking sharp. And then there's Murph, who does not look like he's planning on participating. And on your side, we have Cinnamon in Disney princess style dress. Everybody wearing a pirate jacket that we're acting like looks like a denim jacket that has a bird, 2 birds on the back in seashells. Yes, it's very good. Any other things I'm missing about the scene that we want to talk about? Okay. So it's going to come down to who wants to go first. And Murph comes out in the center and he goes, okay, so I'm not gonna do any music stuff. So who's gonna go first? How do you want to do this? I'll tell Star whatever you say, but like, do you want to go first or do you want to go second?
Ernie leans around Murph. What does Star look like right now? Is she intense? How is she looking?
Confident, poised, very egotistical, slightly PO'd.
Looks back at the group.
I'm thinking maybe let her go first. I think she wants to get it, done.
Do you still not want that jacket, Murph?
I gotta do this team. I gotta do this team over here,
Doesn't seem like that's what you want in life, Murph. I gotta tell it to you.
I mean, you're all real nice. Good. Did you want to go second? That sounds good to you?
Yeah, we're gonna show her up.
Okay. Hey, so there's like an area around the stage, like, and he's like drawing a line with his hand between the statue and the front of the like ring. Don't walk back and forth right there, because that's just not safe.
Why isn't it safe?
There's going to be effects, and I don't want you to get hit by something,
I knew we should have had fireworks.
So, good luck.
Smurf?
Murph turns and starts walking back towards Star. When he gets over, he's like, oh yeah, you get to go first. And Star's just like, So with that, she prepares. The 3 accompanists like go off to the side. They are nowhere near the ring now, but they've got their music all set up and they're tuned. And then she takes this like outer robe that she's wearing, which is like a big, like it's a doubling up kind of robe like this. And she just like drops the robe strings and drops the whole thing down. And her other robe is like just below the knee. It's like much shorter, much brighter, much flashier. And she looks ready to do her part. As soon as she stands in the middle of the stage, you see Murph off to the side. He like lights something and covers his ears. And then there's like a and just like all these fireworks go off behind her. Let me know if you're doing something. Oh, go ahead.
No, she's been prepping way too long for this.
She's been prepping so long. This is her set. This is how she does her set. So if you have things you're doing in the background, let's resolve what those were after Star's performance, like the things you just did that I don't know about as this is going on. Star, when she describes herself as a pop singer, I really want you to think like K-pop, J-pop. She is very much like in that realm. So what has happened is a whole bunch of fireworks have gone off. There's like some like zithers, like meow, like back and forth like this, and some like hand drum and so forth. I'm not good at changing up the music, so I'm just not going to do that. So sorry that we won't have in-game music that matches the effects and the ideas of our fantasy music. We will use our imaginations. And while all that is going on, Star just like strikes a pose, starts singing. She's got a very high ringing voice. You can hear her all around this square. This is what she does. And her dancing is mostly like hand on hip pose, like strutting one way across the stage and then like turning and going back the other way. There is not really a dance element to it. It's just very planned stepping. And every once in a while, like when she reaches the edge of the stage, there'll be a firework. And then she'll go back the other way, another firework. And then she's like doing some hand motions like this, and then like goes like that, and there's another firework. And it just goes on like that for a period of time. She is technically a very fine singer. I don't think any of you are required to enjoy it in any way. And she ends with her hands on her hips. And again, psh, big explosion fireworks. And Star just stands there like this.
And he will clap.
Poetry was not paying attention.
That's fair. That's real fair. That's her plan during your performance, except she's going to be angry, so I guess she will be paying attention. So, the statue. Has anybody done anything that I need to know about while this was going on? Were there any hijinks? Okay, Cinnamon, what's going on?
She has gone to, just right before the performances have happened, she has gone to pickpocket all of the instrumentalists for her, so that they have one part of their instrument that's missing. So if they're playing the drums, one of the drumsticks is missing. If they're playing a violin, like one of the strings is missing.
Let's do this.
Can you use Pass Without Trace to help her?
Sure.
She's a shadow monk.
Tell me what that does, Kivash.
Love it.
If you're within, I think, 30 feet of me, you get a +10 to your stealth.
Ooh, okay.
So this is officially a stealth roll versus these people. Yes.
All right.
10?
Yeah.
Plus
She's already a
10.
rogue because this is going to be crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. So let me roll this. Oh my gosh. Yes, 35.
I'm not going to bother rolling dice because there's no point in that whatsoever. What I want to point out here is, yeah, the best part is Star has no idea anything has gone wrong because she's planning on fireworks on stage. So you know she's wearing earplugs. So there's no chance she actually knows what the music is. She's just planning on doing her same set she always does. So the instrumentists, there was a point where like they started, like the fireworks went off and they're like, and then one of them like looks at the other one and they're just pretending. They're miming playing instruments in the air like this because they cannot physically. And like the marimba, like the skin of the hand drum is gone. So they're like just going like this in the air. That's funny.
I'm gonna as soon as the fireworks go off, use thaumaturgy, and from the point from where she is, just make the loudest unflattering noise I can.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, and this is directed at Star. That's the idea there.
Yeah, the point is at Star.
I think that's like a charisma saving throw. I think that sounds like a good way to deal with this because this will be very unflattering.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that she's prepared for that emotionally, but she is a show person. And when it goes off, there is a sign of like deep mortification, but she does not break her pose. She's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else we want to talk about that has happened that is now being resolved? Okay. So Star is very upset. She's not going to show it, but I mean, she doesn't know her music was off. She also doesn't know about that loud, unflattering sound. I mean, she's aware of it, but she's tamped it down. But the statue hand like goes out like this, and then it turns like that, and it is palm down where you have not seen it yet. She looks up at it, and if her eyes could shoot lightning bolts at you right now, they would have shot lightning bolts at you.
Minneapolis, where after calls
And she very huffily walks over to where her instruments are, and Murph's there and like holding her big robe, and she just like walks past him and into the tent.
She didn't even hear our song.
That's kind of rude.
Hmm.
Murph walks up holding this big robe over his arm, and so it's like, okay, do you want to go?
We can do that.
That's why we're here.
Okay. He goes and sits down over to the side where the instrumentists were, and they're all sitting there too.
I think Ernie looks to everyone and then just sort of starts, one, tapping her foot, but also patting the side of her lute to get the beat going before she starts anything else. Before going in.
There's one thing I want to do. It says I have the ability to mind link where I can telepathically communicate with people. I'm wondering if I can talk to multiple people at once with it.
Yeah, let's do that.
And I want to use that to help everyone keep the same rhythm.
Very
and
nice. Very nice.
I'm just keeping the rhythm in everyone's mind as I'm going through.
I like that. Now, there is an unexpected effect that happens when you all get on the stage. So let's talk about where everyone is positioned. So where is Ernie in this round circle stage?
Ernie will probably be off to one of the sides because she's sort of just along probably with Kavash, keeping the beat as much as she can hear him in his head. She's trying to keep it so that it's at, you can hear it as well and keeps her music in time. Okay.
And where is Cinnamon at?
Where else would Cinnamon be? Standing front and center and like spinning with her princess dress.
I just like it confirmed, It's like who's going in the room first, that kind of thing. You gotta have that in an RPG. Where's Poetry at?
Poetry's up front, but not center stage. She's kind of off to the side, almost like a backup singer.
Okay. And then where's Kivash at?
He's probably standing closer towards the back, getting ready, just keeping the rhythm that Ernie's playing, but also stretching.
Okay. And we have a weird effect that happens at this point where Kivash becomes two Kivashes. So because the random magic chat, the random magic poll that we had going is that Kivash can cast mirror image. So we get two of you for this limited special engagement. So that should be good. Okay. Let's kind of talk about how this performance builds. What do we think comes first? What are we starting out with? Yeah, Alice, you want Ernie to kick us off?
Ernie would start the music, but she wouldn't sing or anything straight away. She would let Cinnamon and Poetry, as soon as she sees Kavash start moving, that is when she would start music.
Okay. And so what's Cinnamon doing now at this point? Once the music's kind of rolled in?
Once the music has rolled in, she's gonna start her Disney song.
Okay. So we've got Disney song going in about this point, and what's Poetry gonna do?
She's gonna wait a little bit for Cinnamon to start singing, and then I think eventually she'll slowly kind of follow suit in her own unique infernal way.
Okay. So the music's starting to come together. We've got the background lute. We've got our two singers now going. And then what's Kivash doing at this point?
He's gonna start his normal routine, but with the mirror image, they're moving exactly opposite of each other.
Yeah,
and
that's gonna look real cool.
He's even gonna spin a key point to do Step of the Wind, so we can get extra elevation on flips.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that seems like a good use for it. I like that. Okay, so My proposal to everyone is that we make a skill challenge out of this, and everyone has to roll a skill that they are using. And depending on how that goes, if we get 4 successes, we're doing great. If we get less than 2 successes, we're doing real bad. How does that sound?
Good.
Good.
Okay, so we're going to make a skill challenge. Everyone has to roll over a 10. So let's pick our skills we want to use. Alice, what's Ernie going to use?
She's going to use performance.
Makes total sense. Faye, what's Cinnamon going to use?
I think performance as well.
Okay, and Kawaii TV, what's Poetry going to use?
I think because of the unsettling sound of Infernal, she's going to use Intimidation.
Okay, and Sphinx, what's Kivash going to use?
He's going to use acrobatics to essentially keep his routine going.
This all sounds great, and if anybody's using any advantages or things like that, let's go ahead and do it, and let's get rolling.
I use an advantage.
Okay.
Me too.
All right, that's what they're there for. To be
I would
used.
also
See,
like to
that.
use one.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me do that again.
So yeah, you got to do one more, right? Okay.
Oh,
Ooh,
jeez.
We rolled the same again.
Everybody passes though, so that's the good news. So everything's going to come off the way that you want it to. Everything's going to be good. The music builds. We've got the dancing in the background with the mirror image. Everything is somehow coming together in a way that is tonally pleasing, and that the statue did not like immediately like smash the hand down on the ground and squish you all. So with that, everything's great. And when you are done, the statue, like the hand is returned to this position, and just the fingers flatten out and the palm just stays up.
Sort of.
That's good, right?
Murph's like,
That's
this.
great.
Ha! And then she reaches into her pockets and goes, ha! And throws the confetti over Cinnamon, who's at the front of the stage, like, ha ha.
Just like a large scallop shell that just
Yeah, you just
lands, gets off the
conch
edge.
shell comes out of nowhere.
In the middle of the
that's
stage,
great.
Cinnamon's just like, wouldn't you like to know?
The tent flap goes flying to the side. Star Seong is striding directly at you all. And she's doing that thing where she's walking slightly vertically or diagonally forward. So her head is like the first thing coming at you all. And she's doing like the power walking arms.
Cinnamon, she walks like you.
Like a really mad Cinnamon. That's what it's like, yeah. She gets right up to the edge of the stage. What did you do? What did you do to the arm? You did something.
We played a good song.
Rock and roll.
You just weren't here to hear it.
The polite thing to do would have been to stay and listen.
Okay. So you win. So Solkadish wins. Great. 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 It's great. 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 You won.
What-
Great.
What's your grudge against Sorkatesh?
That's Solkatesh.
What-
I mean, you have.
Briefly, yeah. There's my
But I
hand
mean, you're
stamped to
here
prove it.
right now.
Why are you mad at us? We're not Sorkatesh.
You're part of her cult, and you just did a
I-
big song, and
I
you beat
got-
me at a singing contest.
You were angry with me before the singing contest. Look at my hand stamp. That's it. That's all I've got.
You're still in the cult. You're part of the cult. You're cultists.
What are you?
In the name of good, I oppose you. And with that, she starts dropping the robe. She's untying the rope strings and dropping things down. And Star was about 5'2", and she's getting larger. Roughly, size-wise, just large. So she only gets to be about 11 feet tall.
This is.
These growing scales, which are turning to a dull, burnished bronze color. Her head is becoming long snouted, and horns are going out of the back of her head. The long frill of her, I'm going to say frill, is running down her back to her tail. Her wings are popping out. Star Seong is apparently a bronze dragon that is now going to fight you all. Everybody roll initiative. Hey, you guys are cultists.
I got a 9 again.
We prefer the term aggressive fan club.
That's very fair.
Vash going in with a nat 20.
My goodness.
Sphinx has got a 24.
I got a 4.
Okay. So I am using the D&D Beyond Encounter Tracker, so everything is great at this point, and I am pushing start, and we are ready for action. Okay, so Sphinx, you're up first. This bronze dragon has grown to a large size. You see the 3 backup dancers are like running. One of them's got a bow, and 2 of them have like hand axes, and they're like running in your direction. And it does look like you are about to fight this dragon. What would you like to do?
I'll just go in to hit to pull my short sword. They got 2 attacks.
Okay. So you need an 18 to hit the dragon. So with that, you have gotten 1 of the 2.
And I have a bonus unarmed attack.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So 2 good successful strikes. Do you want to put some damage together for me? Great. So let's see where we're at. Come on, 1 key. There we go. Okay, so that's looking pretty good.
So
what do you think it looks like?
He just quickly pulls his sword out of its hilt, slashes upward twice, and then goes in for like a spinning back kick.
Yep. Sounds real good. Okay, excuse me. So with that, anything else you want to do?
That'll be it.
Okay. We're going to move on. There is a cultist, the one who went and grabbed a bow, is like drawing it back, and they are going to fire at you because you're the first one to move. So rolling on Kivash. Let me see what I'm rolling here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, it's just a +3. Okay, does a 16 hit you?
No, my armor class is 17.
Okay, awesome. So you are not shot with an arrow by a cultist. And we're going to move on to...
Can I catch the arrow?
You are a monk, right? Let's do this. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, you only need like a 1, right?
Wait, what do I need to do? 1d10.
Let's see. So you've got this. Damage you're doing is reduced.
D10 plus 9.
So I think here you can just plain catch it because the missile didn't even hit you. So just go ahead and catch it. You have an arrow now.
Okay.
Yeah. Now it says here if you catch a missile, you can spend a key point to make a ranged attack with it. Do you want to do that?
No, I just want to catch it.
Okay, you have now officially caught the arrow that was trying to shoot you. It probably wouldn't have hit you anyways. You had to like reach over and catch it, but you got it.
He just wants to keep everyone's attention on him.
That's
with
fair.
Attacks.
Okay, I'm not going to count that as a reaction because of the fact that you didn't need to make it, but yeah, you have an arrow. So let's go ahead and do Cinnamon's turn.
All right, Cinnamon is going to, from underneath her long dress now, pull out her rapier and her dagger on her offhand and run up and also attack this bronze dragon, hopefully.
Bronze dragon. Yep.
Yeah. All right, so let's see how the rapier goes. Probably not. And
Nope,
then
not yet.
The dagger. Another 9, my lord.
Do you think Cinnamon feels conflicted about fighting a giant good dragon?
She's pretty chaotic. But
Okay.
I think so. Maybe not conflicted, but probably just stumbling over her like cloak being tied around her hands. She has like
I mean,
limited
we did say it was going to
motion.
come back later. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. Okay, cool. So is there anybody that thinks, like, here's where I'm at. We've got Sphinx in front. Does anybody think they're standing in a direct line with Sphinx in such a way that I could easily hit you with a lightning bolt?
I mean,
Like, if you had to
want.
draw a 5-foot straight line back behind Sphinx, would you say that you're standing directly behind him?
Who, me?
I mean, anybody that wants to take me up on that.
I mean, if you want to, you can.
No, that doesn't sound fun enough. Okay, so I'm going to use the other ability that I can use, which is just using a big cone of repulsion energy. So Cinnamon and Kivosh, since they're right up there in front, are going to have to make a strength saving throw. You have to beat a 15, or you're going to get pushed 40 feet away, which, for clarity's sake, is going to be into the ruined temple behind you. Nice, very nice. Roll 20's keeping us in suspense.
If you roll another 9, Faye.
So while Faye's making the dice do their magic, here's what I'm thinking this looks like. So this big bronze dragon like rears back and just like breathes out this repulsion energy directly at you and just kind of like pours over you in waves. What does Kivosh do that just lets him stand there?
He's actually, after his back kick, he's sheathed his sword and he's just going back into the motions like when he was dancing. And he's basically dodging, like
Nice.
trying to
Very
distract.
cool. I like it. Okay, so that's working really well for you. And what happened for Cinnamon Faye? How did that work?
Sorry, I'm muted.
Yep.
This doesn't make any sense. I guess she is just going to, after her like failed attacks, she's probably just going to propel herself up with her dagger and with her rapier and move out of the way.
So all that goes off, and this bronze dragon looks very confused and still very upset with you all because you're being so successful and not being destroyed instantly. That's very not cool. And it's Ernie's turn.
Ernie is going to sort of run forwards with her lute and strum it once and just scream, but use psychic blades. There's these, if it hits, obviously, these sort of rays of light sort of come out of the lute itself and almost seem to come from her. I would like to use an advantage. Oh no, I can't hang because it's a save for you, isn't it? Isn't it?
No,
Hang on.
psychic blades.
No.
You've got to do a weapon attack.
Yes, do a weapon attack. Hang on, I will use an advantage.
Okay. Well,
Oh my gosh, this sums up my roll 20 luck.
if you had added those two numbers together, it still would have been just a little bit less than you wanted. So,
How
so the
is
first
that
side is you don't have
possible?
to use. Yeah.
That's just screaming. Nothing.
I'm just picturing Janis Joplin.
I'm just thinking, like, you know, in The Mummy, when the mummies scream, and then he screams back, and there's like, ah. That's kind of what Ernie's doing right now.
That's fair. It bought you like a whole round, so there was that. Okay, is there anything else you want to throw in there?
No, I can't do anything else. I can't do anything else.
Okay, and that doesn't count as you using your ability because we didn't get to that point in it, so we're still
Yeah.
good there. Okay, so there are two cultists. I've described them as both having hand axes. I wish I had said scimitars because that's what I was originally thinking of, but we're going to stick with what we said. And the two of them are going to run up, and they're both going to attack Sphinx. They're going to attack Kivosh. So let's make 2 attacks there. 1, 2. Wow, they're very bad at this. You're dodging so well. There is no way they can possibly touch you. They don't know what to do. They're just going to keep rolling. We are now on Poetry's turn.
Well, first, I would like to rage. And then she's just going to run up to one of the cultists that tried to attack Sphinx or Kavash, and with both hands, take a swing, or well, 2 swings. So I'm gonna use. Let's see, give me just a sec.
Yep, and you got to beat a 12.
Okay.
Very much so. Yep. Okay. 1 out of 2, but it's a really good 1 out of 2.
Okay, and so that's 1.
And if you touch the weapon name there where it says Warhammer, it'll give you the damage.
Yeah. But I'm raging, so that's what, an extra 2?
Oh, I see. You've got to add all the extra stuff in. No problem.
I'm raging, so that's 1d10 plus 4.
All right.
8 damage.
Good stuff.
Bludgeoning.
Good stuff. Okay, we are out of cultist. One of our cultists is no longer a cultist. So with that, things got a little bit easier, and we can keep moving. Hey, we got more raiders.
Did I just Gallagher a cultist?
You did. You did. So let's move back to the top, which is Sphinx again. So what's Kivosh going to do?
What's up? How long has it been since I cast Pass Without Trace?
That's a really good question. Probably a little bit. How long does the spell last for?
An hour.
Okay, yeah, definitely not that long.
So just noted that it's still up, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So what he's gonna do is he's gonna attack twice with his bare hands, but he's mostly using it to bait the dragon. He wants to keep its attention on him, so he's gonna attack twice unarmed, and then gonna use a key point to do patient defense.
Look at that. Very nice. Very good stuff. Wow. Okay, go monks. 16 more points of damage. Kivosh is doing a real good job. Okay, yeah, the dragon is not happy. I mean, what would they like about that? So with that, yeah, Star Seong is going to be keeping her attention on you, I'm sure. Very good. Okay, and then patient defense, doing good. Everything else is all set?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's have the cultist with a bow take another shot. I don't think he's going to shoot you again because he would like his arrows to hit his targets and then have that hurt. So I think he's going to shoot Cinnamon, which makes me a monster.
It does.
Can't believe I'm going to shoot Cinnamon, but I am going to shoot Cinnamon. Here we go. I am attempting to shoot Cinnamon, and I only rolled a 10, so I don't have to feel any worse about it. So an arrow just goes wide past Cinnamon. But it is your turn now, Cinnamon. So what would you like to do?
All right. Cinnamon's going to try and do the same thing and try and attack again. So she is going to attack with her rapier first. Oh, no. Hold on. Did that roll show up? No? Okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
It's been a bit funny over the last few days.
17? No?
That close. You need an 18 to hit the dragon.
All right, and here's the dagger.
there you
Hey, 18. All right, so I'll do the 6 piercing and the 11 sneak attack damage, please.
Okay, so that is all set. The dragon does not seem happy with you. Being poked with a dagger was not something that the dragon was planning to do. So with that, do you have anything else you want to do?
No, she's just gonna look angrily and take that. That's for not listening to our music.
That's fair. That's very fair. Star Seong is going to... Here's a fun thing about... I don't know why this is the case, but here's a fun thing about the Bronze Dragon. They don't make them recharge any of their breath weapons. So now we've got Poetry and Cinnamon and Kivosh, and even Ernie ran up in front of the dragon. So it is going to use the repulsion energy cone again because you all will have to roll this save. So everyone has to make a strength saving throw 15.
Perfect. Oh no, my worst stat. Yes.
You somehow. That's like the best roll possible too.
Use the advantage.
We continue where Alice and I roll exactly the same numbers.
And I don't need to use an advantage since I have advantage because I'm raging.
I love the Sphinx just each time. No.
Very nice. And, you would think it would be a strong point period too, but Star Seong is more livid at this point because none of you are doing what you're supposed to. You're all supposed to be scrubs. This is not working. So that's not cool. So if a dragon could look incensed, which I'm sure it can, the dragon looks incensed is what I'm telling you. Okay, we're on Ernie's turn.
Question. Does this look like this dragon is willing to talk? Or is this like, oh, they're just going to try and crush us now?
Well, the dragon has not talked. Since Star turned into a dragon, she has had nothing to say to you all and has tried to explode you all twice. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I would like to try Psychic Blades again, see if I can do it. I'd like to use my other advantage.
Okay.
So.
Here we go.
Yes!
Hey, look at that.
Okay. Oh, for Christ.
Wow. It's a good thing you got that extra psychic damage to throw on top of that.
Why does this never work for me? Okay, hang on. I roll. Is it 2d6? Where is it? Yeah, 2d6. I swear.
Ernie with the heavy damage.
That was so much better last week.
Okay. So that's 9. 9's good. Okay. Very good. So there is one cultist with a hand axe that's going to turn and chop at Poetry because why not? I don't think Poetry's even going to notice. It's going to be great. I rolled very, very poorly. None of you can get hit by anything. It's great. I appreciate that about you. And now it's Poetry's turn.
She's going to swing at the one who tried to, invade her personal space.
Yeah.
So
you got to get a 12, which you handily did. So you're going to be rolling a lot of dice here.
So let's see if what is it? Let's see, 1d10 plus 4, 7, and I do 1. So for the crit damage, just another 1d10 plus 4.
I think you just added one more d10.
Just one more d10. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
1d10.
Very nice. Okay, so you've eliminated one more cultist. Do you want to just carry your movement over to the third cultist and take them out, or what would you like to do with that other attack?
Yeah, I'll take out. I'll swing at the other one. So you want me to just roll damage for the other one?
Yeah, let's just do one more damage roll for the third cultist.
Okay, 1d10.
As I am mentally preparing myself to say goodbye to them. All right, did that one come out as a 7-2? Okay.
Yeah.
They are hanging on barely, but it's not good. Things are not good. Cultists are not having a great time right now. So with all of that going on, as we begin the next turn and we hit the 0 round of initiative, there's a little green light window coming into being over on your camp side of the market, the open square. And Sulkatesh is very slowly shambling out of the door towards you all. So she's got kind of a wearing house slippers shuffle out towards the middle of the thing. And she just looks at Star and points her finger, and Star goes So it's very Godzilla meets the upstairs lady. They're just going back and forth. Grandma. And so
Godzilla versus Yzma.
Yeah. So Katesh goes, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. And Star goes, and just starts shrinking down until she's her normal humanish form again. It's just you said them? Them? She's just pointing at you all.
What's wrong with us?
They have no sense of style, no respect for the art.
How would you know? You didn't even listen.
You were loud enough I could hear you in the tent. And she starts walking towards Sulkatesh, who's very slowly ambling over there. Look, I didn't want to be here in the first place, and this was a stupid bet, and I won. And starts that doesn't even count. That doesn't count. Did you see them? Look at them. Look at all of them. Those two are so short.
For a nice or good dragon, whatever you are, you're real mean.
She says, it's not about that. It's about morality. It's not about how nice I am to people who are parts of cults. And you're kind of
You
right, and I'm
literally
sorry.
had
But you know what? I'm
cultists
upset.
behind you.
Though, okay, I mean, that's the template for the person. I get it. But anyways, yeah. To be fair, you're right. But at least they're good cultists. Do you know what she does? And she's
I'm a
pointing at
good
Sulkatesh, and like her
cultist.
finger like pokes Sulkatesh in like this like fleshy bit, and just kind of goes.
I would like to step forward, puff my chest out, and use words of terror.
And just be like, what makes you think we're not good cultists? You have been mean to us since we got here, insulting everything about us.
You know you're not wrong, but let me try to make a wisdom saving throw for a bronze dragon.
Which is going to be massive. So
It's actually not that bad. It's not that bad. What are they trying to beat?
14.
14.
Very
Okay.
small. Yeah, look.
Oh, no.
It did not work, but the important thing is the intent was there. The
I'm like an
message was
angry
strong.
pigeon.
Star just looks, you. Sulkatesh goes, you never should have gone for this anyways, because it's my statue. She's pointing, and she's pointing, it's like, if you were to dial back like 1,000 years off the face, yeah, that actually does kind of look like a statue of Sulkatesh. Like maybe 1,000 years ago. She's like,
Oh.
Star, you're so predictable.
I have one question. How did this bet come about?
Sulkatesh goes, ever since I destroyed this island, we've been having bets going back and forth about how this was all going to get settled. This is like 1,000 years of all this.
Why would you destroy the island?
Oh, because I needed to sacrifice all the people to grow my undead army.
See, that's a bad cultist.
And I'd look at Star and point towards Sulkatesh.
Sulkatesh goes, I'm not a cultist. I told you this before. You're not a cultist when the cult's about you.
It's always about you, isn't it, Sulkatesh?
She like points at her hand, which has no marking on it, but she's like looking at your.
I think she wants a high five.
Should get a hand stamp. One of us. One of us.
A hand stamp and a cool jacket.
So you killed all those people just so you could put them in your undead army?
Sulkatesh goes, no, it's not like that. It's not like I just killed them to put them in my army, but when you have all those bodies after you've killed all those people to take the life energy out of them, you have to do something with them. It's important to use everything.
But why did you kill them in the first place?
So that I could become an all-powerful lich. This is what the cult is all about. All hail Sulkatesh.
So you're
That's a dick move.
at least
Mistress of Death.
at least she recycles.
That's right.
Looks over at the destroyed island, and then I looked at it. I'm like,
First of all, Sulkatesh, this is wrong. This is not a good thing. And Star, if you would just calm down and start talking to people, we would have known this in the first place.
Star has her arms crossed like this, and she goes, you were here as performers for a cult with this one. And she again pokes Sulkatesh. It's like that squishy sound. And
Don't take that tone. Don't cross your arms just because I'm smaller or you think you're so good because you're a big dragon.
I am a big dragon.
Communication is key. Not right now, you're not. But communication is key with both of you.
I just realized that poetry still probably has bits and pieces of the splattered cultists all over her.
It's true. I mean, the scene is a mess.
I was just gonna cut in. Are you two actually enemies, or do you just have nothing better to do?
It's a long thing. And Star says, it's a long thing, and I can't really do much about her because that involves a lot. If you want to get rid of a lich, you've got to find phylacteries and you've got to do all sorts of things. And she's very powerful. And I thought a singing competition would be embarrassing to her because she could not sing.
Do you two need a marriage counselor?
Are you related?
No, I'm a dragon. She, and she again pokes her with her finger, is just an elf. Just an elf. I mean, anyways, not
You
not
literally
that.
just called her a lich.
She's a lich. She's an elf and a lich.
Okay.
A lich is something you become.
So, a lich and a dragon. Haven't you got something better to do than argue with each other? What do you do for fun?
This is what I do for fun. This was fun. This is my weekend.
You don't seem like you're having fun,
You
Star.
don't
Because
seem
instead of
very
her doing it,
happy.
she brought you.
Again, the emphasis. You seem very angry. Maybe you need a holiday.
Do you want a jacket?
I know this great place, but you gotta get on a bone boat to get there.
We could play you a song.
A real
Star just like
song.
hands up, just like walks off in the distance. Just starts walking off. A couple seconds later, turns into a dragon, starts flying off.
She needs therapy.
And she needs to just have a break.
So Sokatesh is still standing there. So you did more recruiting. Good. Good.
Well, they were just helping. I don't know it. Do you guys want to be in a cult?
Does it count if there's
They can be in the cult alive or they can be in the cult dead. That's fine.
whoa. It's alive or nothing.
What do you think Mistress of Death means?
Oh no, I very much understand the meaning of it. I'm just saying it's wrong.
I hear that a lot.
You should probably listen. How old are you?
1,017 years old.
17. That's basically 100 years older than you, Cinnamon.
1,000 even. I knew what I meant.
And she's like reaching up to her hair a little bit. And she's like, also, when I was a lot younger, I kind of looked like Cinnamon. Not really there anymore.
I'm looking at Cinnamon and the statue and Cinnamon and the statue. Like,
The statue does look more like it would genuinely like to kill an entire nation.
So
Okay.
definitely not cinnamon.
I don't get that vibe from Cinnamon.
more so, yeah.
Give it a few years.
She did attack a good bronze dragon, so
That's true. So Solkatesh is pointing at the green portal and she goes, well, everyone back in the portal, back to the lair.
Can they go home if they want?
No. Let's go.
Why not?
Because
Cute,
they're
cute.
going to become more of my undead minions. Like you will be if you don't get back in that tunnel.
Don't you threaten me.
She
I-
waves her loot at her.
Oh,
She has
Murph.
no sense. Ernie will probably be very injured before she caves.
Poetry says to Murph. Murph goes, yeah. Murph is like trying to like skulk along the wall. He's doing that thing where his hands are on the wall and he's like shuffling.
Can he come too?
Run, Murph, run!
He goes, he comes alive or he comes dead. Come on.
preferably alive.
Oh, and those
Poetry-
two. And she points her finger and the two dead cultists, or three dead cultists get up and just start walking over towards you all.
That's unnerving.
So, Grammy Solkatesh. Can I call you Grammy Solkatesh? Anyway,
It's fine.
I thought we would have a talk about the design, the decor, like the bone boat. Love the duck feet. The duck feet were great. The bone part, not so
You want more
much.
bones?
Less bones.
Less bones.
More duck.
Oh my
But like just a zombie duck.
It's just like a peddler.
Not what I had in mind, but we can compromise.
That's fine. Get in the tunnel. Let's go.
Cinnamon.
We'll talk about it when we get back to the lair.
Cinnamon steps into the tunnel.
And Silkadish like stops right here when she says, "We'll talk about it when we get back to the lair," before somebody gets in the tunnel, and she just stops. And looking around, like the 3 zombies that are walking towards the tunnel are all stopped like this. And Murph, who is skulking on the wall, is stopped like that. And it's just the 4 of you that are moving around.
Okay, who did that?
Can I go poke Sulkatesh and see what makes that sound, please?
Yeah, so you go over to her, but when you poke, your finger just makes an indent and it doesn't make any sound at all.
Oh, it's worse.
Yeah, there's a very elderly looking orc woman, like very long, natty hair, lots of ornaments that are stuck through it, long robes. Everything looks very unkempt. And she's very slowly, also like she's extremely elderly, walking over to you all. She doesn't look at all like a lich. She just looks like she's having joint pain. And she's walking towards you all and goes, "It's Cinnamon still, isn't it?"
Oh, yes. Hi, Moira.
Moira, I lost you for a little bit. But
Yeah.
come along now.
There's a little problem.
What's that?
Remember how I told you about this, the cult? Oh, this is Ernie and Poetry and Kibosh. They're my friends. Ernie's also part of the cult.
Hands down.
High fives, Ernie.
Do you want to be in the cult?
Not particularly. I mean, the decor is really horrible. Did you see
It's
the
very
bone boat?
bad. No. Well, come along.
No.
We'll talk about this and we'll have tea.
I do like tea.
We've got to figure out how to finish this all before Sulkatesh destroys the world. Come on.
Won't she be mad?
Probably.
Oh, okay. All right. Can I get out of the cult if I do this?
I hope so, if we don't destroy the world first.
Sounds good.
Otherwise,
Do
we'll
you
have
guys
to try
wanna
it
come?
all over again. Poetry, Kivosh, what do you think?
Poetry's gonna look around for a moment, look to Sulkatesh, then look to Moira, look to Sulkatesh, look to Moira. I think not destroying the world sounds a better idea.
Good thinking.
Yeah, cults really aren't my thing.
Come along. After we have tea, I can drop you off wherever you need to go.
If I should grab his things.
Mhm. So Moira like shambles over to the side where there's just like a little shimmery thing, like the air is just a little bit hazy, and just kind of like walks over to it. And she points over to Murph. She's like, "What about that one?"
He's already in a cult.
All right, everyone in. And
I
she
can
just,
come too?
come on.
Okay.
Shambles through, and next time, I guess we'll find out what happens with Moira.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Mhm.
I love this game. What we'll do is go round and everyone just say one, what was your favorite bit of the game, but also where we can find you. And let's go round in reverse order this time. So we'll start with the lovely Faye. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. As always, thank you all for having me on the stream. I love playing Cinnamon and being my very chaotic 16-year-old self. My favorite part, I think, was just Ernie trying to figure out what the statue liked and just finding out that the only thing that made the statue like extend the hand was Screamo. That was pretty great. But yes, you can find me here on Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. playing Shards of Siberys. And also, you can find me on Twitter at Captain Fake Guy. And I am also part of a couple of D&D podcasts, How the Quest Was Won, which is at How the Quest, and Misfits Guide to Adventuring at Misfits Guide.
Awesome, thank you. And then we're gonna hop over and say hi to I still messed it up. Hey, Waifu TV.
Not a problem. Hi, I'm Kawaifu TV. I can be found on Twitter at Kawaifu TV. My favorite part, besides the shenanigans with Murph and the just wrecking of our opponent's show, was Saul. I loved the little interaction with Saul. It was hilarious to me.
Awesome.
And you can usually find me here lurking in chat or on on Discord, in this Academy Discord, lurking about.
Awesome, thank you. And then we're gonna hop over and say hi to Sphinx. Hi, Sphinx.
Sphinx for most places. I typically lurk in streams. I'm not really in anything right now. I think my favorite part was just the prep for the competition and what everybody got up to. But I wanted to ask if I could do one thing before the end. Can I give Cinnamon and Ernie what I've been carving the whole time?
Yes.
It's essentially a wood carving of his quarry spirit.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
Aww.
For protection.
I love it. Yes.
Oh no. Like, Ernie's gonna be so in love with that now.
I was going to say Ernie should probably hold on to it because Cinnamon will just lose it.
It's probably tied at one point on a piece of thread around her neck, or at least tied around like the arm of her lute. I'd say that's probably where she keeps it. I love that. Thank you. And then we'll hop over and say hi to the lovely Hans. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. What a fun game. Everybody was so much fun to play with. We had a great time, and thank you all for putting up with my nonsense like usual. Appreciate that. We'll be back next week for the finale of Shards of Siberys, and we'll see how that all goes and who gets hit with what. I think that's all I've got. Favorite parts? I had a lot of good parts I liked. I am very glad that we got Poetry Raging. I think that was important. I liked the little dainty cup-sized ice cream. I think the call for ice cream in general was very good. I like the fact that Kivash's dancing was just so captivating that everybody kept stopping to watch. And also the use of Pass Without Trace was very good and very timely. I think that helped out a lot. A lot of good stuff. Yeah.
I loved that. I mean, I'll say the imagery of this dragon trying to hit Kivash, but his dancing's too good, so he just manages to avoid it every single time. It's like, I can just see it in a really sort of badass motion. Again, poetry raging after eating such a tiny little cup of ice cream, I feel is a very a good image. Hans, I love every NPC you ever do, just so you're aware. And I think just Cinnamon, in general, becoming a Disney princess for this episode, I think it's a required thing. It's a wonderful thing. Otherwise, I'm White Rabbit Pick on Twitter. That's where you can find me. I'm one half of the founders of the Academy. You can also find me DMing over on Gilding Light, and also Tales from the Grim into homebrew worlds of my own. I have a Patreon. Hans is here, so I can remember it. I have a Patreon, and because I will be let outside again soon, expect a lot of photos because my photography fingers are itchy right now. There's only so much you can do in this room. But otherwise, a huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors in the form of Maychan Press. You can check out their Fae Folio, the finale next Wednesday, and also their Dark Matter now in hardback, which is D&D in space, which everyone needs in their life. Also, the wonderful Deck of Many with their epic Kickstarter and all of the moving spell cards, tarot cards, and art as well. We've got their Humblewood as one of our viewer games tomorrow if you want to come check that out. Also, Hero Forge. We've been playing around with their beta and it is awesome. I made Ernie on it a couple of weeks back and I may have to get it printed. It's one of my favorites. They have a snazzy coat and everything. So go please check them out. Also Dungeon Fog for your map making needs. It updates every time you update the map, your notes update as well. It keeps everything in order, which a human being like me definitely needs. It's a really fab thing, so go check that out. And last but certainly not least, Heartbeat Dice. It is Pride Month, so go check them out. They have a Kickstarter themselves with some seriously lovely shinies over there. It's also the first dice company I found that do demisexual dice, which I really like. So there's so many dice for everything on the flag, so go check that out as well. Otherwise, go check out if you want to get into a game. As I said, the next season is looming. Head over to Twitter and drop Scrat a DM, and we will get you a game. Also, if you've missed out on anything and want to catch up before the finale, you can head over to YouTube and catch up over there. Last but certainly not least, the Discord. Come and join us on the Discord. I swear it's full of wonderful people like you see around the table here. We just want to socialize, talk TTRPGs, and have fun. There's also channels for each game if you want to go and chat about it in that, whether it's theories or whatever it is you liked about the game. So, without further ado, keep evoking emotions, and we will see you next week for the finale. Bye!